Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
There it is, folks. There it is. We are live and in charge. Here we go, guys. Welcome to the live stream for Frightmare. What is up, everybody? Yes. How we doing?
How's it going?
Hello.
Look at all these fine people.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All these people here. And Josh will be back. I know. I trust him. He'll bounce back in. But man, I can't thank you guys enough for being a part of this. This is a lot of fun. This has been multiple weeks, maybe even a month or two in the making. So I sent you guys a message. Horror Cat Dad actually mentioned on one of our live streams in the chat, and I was like, "That's a great idea. Let's do it." And then you guys responded and said, "Yes, we're in." We also got a couple other friends that are going to join us a little later, hopefully, and that's going to be awesome. So we're going to go around the horn and just introduce everybody. I'm Sprang. I'm with Moves and Making Podcast. My co-host will be back in a moment, Papa Goss. But Horror Cat Dad, introduce yourself. Let us know how you doing, man.
Everybody, Horror Cat Dad, nice to be here and super excited for Frightmare, man. It's a year again. We're here again, and it's awesome. So I'm doing good, man. I'm ready for Frightmare. I'm ready for this hangout too, man.
Yes. Absolutely. All right, Laser Wagon Horror Podcast. Chris and Sam, welcome. This is your first time being with us, so thank you for being here. How are you guys doing?
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, appreciate it. Super excited to be here. Locked and loaded for Frightmare.
Absolutely. And we got the Horror Green Book back. How are you doing, bud?
Hey, what's going on, travelers? Hey, it's good, man. I'm just really looking forward to all the fun that is in store for us this upcoming weekend. So hope you fellas have been getting your rest because we're going to be up all night, guys.
After party.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I know. For real. I actually ran a Spartan race this past weekend down in Austin. So I had to run. I ran it's a 5K. I walked for 2/3 of it. And
Serve that energy,
and then
man.
had 20 obstacles in it. So it was nuts. Yeah. But my wife loves that stuff. And so I was like, yeah, I'll join you this time. That'll be awesome.
Nice.
So good
Hey,
stuff.
Sprang.
Good stuff. Welcome back, Mr. Papa Goss. What's up, buddy?
Hey, yeah, the thing
Oh, sorry.
said it was unable to connect, so it like kicked me off, and
All good.
I got a caution sign.
What's up, Chris?
I was just going to say, I have a 17-year-old daughter, and one of the only ways, like, I'll hang out with her anytime she wants. But she said, "You want to do a 5K?" It's like, okay. My legs are still sore. It was Saturday. I didn't stop. but,
Right.
man, I should have thought that out because my legs are still going to be sore this weekend.
Oh my god.
Yeah, for real. I did. I ran for a good bit of it. Like the first few, it was, and then, but I was proud. There were like 2 or 3 obstacles that I did that I saw them. I was like, I do not want to do this, and I was able to do it. So and I wasn't last. Those are the 2 things I have to go on. I pushed through a couple of obstacles that were tough, and I didn't go last. So.
Hey, if you're not
Very
last,
nice.
you're first.
Well, I do have some things here that we're gonna.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And I do have some questions that I'm going to ask to kind of get our conversation going about Frightmare. But we're also, for those of you watching with us, we're also going to throw on Scream. Paramount Plus is streaming it if you have Paramount Plus. But we're going to just have that on kind of on the side. And if you want to watch along with us or not, that's fine. But we're also just going to be kind of chatting through Texas Frightmare stuff throughout the deals. But let's kind of go around and just kind of talk about your first, like, when was your first Frightmare, and kind of what's one of the memories from your first Frightmare. I'll start with you, Larry.
My first Frightmare was 2014. First time I went,
Wow.
I honestly I didn't care who was there. It was actually because of Romero. That was like the first time I got to meet him, and yeah, it was awesome. That was my first time, and ever since then, I've been going pretty much every year ever since. It's like the only
That's
thing that
awesome.
I
That's
regret
awesome.
now looking back is like how many people that were there that I wish I could have met that I didn't realize were there. Like Rico Browning from Creature from the Black Lagoon was there. Didn't realize that. Now he's not longer with us. Julie Adams apparently
Wow.
was there, and I didn't realize that. Again, from Creature from the Black Lagoon, I didn't realize that, and she's no longer with us. And friggin' Lloyd, the bartender, Terrell himself from Blade Runner, was there. I knew he was there, but I didn't realize like I didn't get a chance to meet him. So here's what it
Yeah,
is, man. But
Man.
still, I,
that's
I love it,
crazy.
man. I've been going ever since.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sam, how about you? What's your first Frightmare experience, and what's one takeaway you remember from that?
Well, I think I just mentioned it in one of the episodes. I remember seeing posts about the very first few Frightmares, and I always wanted to go. And then Chris invited me about 5 years ago. I don't remember which one it was that we went to first, and so that was the first one I actually got to attend uh, in person. Uh, Incredible experience.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, how about you, Chris?
I think it was
What's your
20
first Frightmare? Big takeaway.
first. Yeah, I think it was 2017, and it was a down and back. I'm in Waco, so it was just an hour and a half drive, but I wasn't sure what to expect, and I wanted to meet Ted White because they had like all the Jasons there. I think it was 2017. Y'all might be able to correct me. It was 2017 or 2018, but I got to meet Ted White, get the photo op. I wish I could have gotten all the Jasons, but like I said, I was just in there and out, and cherish that photo because not long after, and he was 92 years old, full costume photo op. I mean, props to him, you know. So, but I cherish that moment. Part 4, Friday the 13th, was is always my favorite for various reasons. But yeah, so 2017, Ted White, never forget it.
That's awesome. How about you, Horror Green Book, Brendan? What's yours?
That's a very funny story that most of my friends that have been to Frightmare and have spoken with me at Frightmare are aware of. Me being in Texas, I was always aware of Texas Frightmare from the moment that I moved to the DFW area. But it taking place on Memorial Day weekend, there was always something keeping me from attending, that weekend. So either it would be a family friend having a wedding. One time my brother had a wedding, just various things. And the one year I said, you know what,
Uh-huh.
nothing is going to stop me from attending Texas Frightmare this year. And that year was 2020. And we all know how that year went for all of us. So that was canceled. I couldn't help
Right.
that. And then so the next opportunity was I think in 2021 when they brought it back, or 2022, but I definitely went to the 2022 one that had Robert England and most of the Dream Warriors cast, Brad Dourif, um, oh man, Julian Sands was there. And that, speaking of regret from, actually speaking with someone or getting a moment with someone, um, we didn't know that, he was going to go missing and things of that nature. And, he's no longer with us. But I did have a moment of, just, before Texas Frightmare ended, just looking at, him, and he just seemed in like a very serene state of having like a very long weekend. It's Sunday. He's about to go home, man. I just looked, I'm like, oh wow, that's very cool. Julian's over there, and I could just see him like straight on, and it was just like that cool moment. I just sat there and just kind of like looked at him for a minute, and then I'm like, oh, that's very cool. I had a very great Texas Frightmare. I didn't get Robert England's autograph. I chased him for like another year, but everyone else, I got their autograph, and it started an addiction that I've been there every year since then, and I've met all types of great people.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, round to you, Papa Goss. First Frightmare and big takeaway from that first one.
Oh man, so back in the video store days in Colorado, I had two buddies who used to come in all the time, Matt and Tommy, and they used to talk about this. This was probably, let's see, mid like 2010 to like 2015, and I think they went almost every year for that like 5-year period. But they used to talk about it, and they'd tell me, and this was before I got really big into conventions and stuff. And they'd show me the pictures and stuff and all the cool stuff they got when they got back. And I just was like, man, that sounds like such a great time. And then Denver started to get some horror conventions, like some small ones. At the Alamo Draft House, they used to do a Mile High Horror, and I was able to meet like the Shining twins and Joe Turkel and Gunnar Hansen, and all these cool people came through, and I got to watch like 70 millimeter showings of like Texas Chainsaw and The Shining, and there was Q&As, and that's when I started to really get into thinking this was really cool. I hung out with like Ken Forey, who every time I see him, we talk for a couple hours. And then my son is famous on his Instagram, so that's always fun. But yeah, I just like started slowly getting into, the collecting world and going to conventions, and just like how cool it is. And especially the horror conventions, just because like everybody is there and everybody's just so friendly. Not saying like Comic-Cons aren't the same way, but just a little bit different vibe. Like everybody's just so cool, and there's awesome cosplays. I feel like horror cosplays do way better than the Comic-Con ones do, but that's just me personally. And then flash forward, I moved to Oklahoma in 2018, and then it was funny because GalaxyCon did a private signing with John Carpenter. This was like 2021, I think, or 2022. So I sent my Halloween poster in because I had never seen him at a con or anything before. And I got the autograph back. And then like a year later, he was the first guest for Texas Frightmare. And we're in Oklahoma City, so we're only a few hours away. So I told Jess, and she was like, well, we have to go. So we bought tickets. And then they just started announcing all kinds of people from the thing and all kinds of movies that I love. My son is very excited. Sorry about that.
All good.
Can't wait to see him.
But anyway, so we went to 2023. That was our first year. I did pretty much anything dealing with John Carpenter. I did. So I went to the screening of the thing with the Q&A, and then I actually snagged the last 2 tickets too because it sold out. And then the key, if you ever in the future, anybody out there, if you want to go to these screenings, that like if you hit refresh, especially like a couple hours after they sell out or they go on sale, people like get their tickets canceled or whatever, or they add an extra couple or whatever. So I lucked out. I got the last 2 seats for the John Carpenter one, and I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my God, so awesome. So went to that, did the pro photo op the first night of Frightmare with my son and my buddy Steve. And then obviously the autograph was, I did that on Saturday, and having a kid pays off, especially at these big cons. Like we got a virtual ticket. Frightmare is the only convention. Hold on real quick.
No worries.
But yeah, Texas Frightmare is like the one convention. Every time I listen to people talk about conventions, they complain about, a Comic-Con or whatever. They they don't want to wait for hours, and they have to because there's no other option. So you have to wait in the line. You miss all the convention. But Frightmare, you get the virtual ticket and you get to, go roam and enjoy the convention, which is just so refreshing at a convention like that. So we did that for John Carpenter. We got a virtual line ticket. They called our number. We went upstairs. My son was younger at the time, so he was in a stroller. We had just got to the back of the line, and a crew member, a volunteer, came up, and they were like, "Hey, why don't you guys just skip ahead to the front of the line?" And we were like, "Are you kidding me?" So we skipped like this huge line of people waiting for John Carpenter. Went right in. There was another family that had like 2 kids, so they just got us moved up to the front. So we skipped that. Matt Lillard, 2024. So that was the last time we went. We were waiting in line, and then as we were walking away, Matt grabbed my shoulder and he was like, "Hey, hold on." And he signed a 8x10 Shaggy to my son for free. He just gave us a free autograph when we were walking away. So that's hanging up in my son's room. But yeah, just you get cool experiences. And I mean, even the celebrities their lines are super packed, you still get that, like, when you get up to the table. I've never had anybody at Frightmare that like rushed you like to go through, and everybody's there for the same reason, and everybody's very patient. I've never seen any fans get like out of control or like get upset that, it's taking a while to get up there. And I mean, it's just a fun convention. I mean, it's now that it's huge. I mean, I never went to it when it was at like DFW or anything. I heard it was a lot of fun, but there's not as much room as there is now. But even last year we didn't get to go, but I just heard from all of you who went, like, it was great. I had my buddy Steve from Colorado. He and his brother went last year as well, and they texted me Friday night, and they're like, "This is the busiest from the 3 years we've gone to this that it's ever been." And we're like, "It's packed in here," and I was like, "Yeah, it's just getting bigger and bigger." But I'm happy. I mean, you want these to succeed, so that's what I'm hoping OKC Horror starts to do. So we just keep that around and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So I love that kind of feel.
Absolutely.
That's kind of how I feel about Houston Horror, man. Like, Houston Horror starting to get like, man, it's giving Frightmare a run for its money for sure. And if I can interrupt real quick, the panel has a question from
All right, let's do it.
Eric, Two Boys and Their Scary Pops. He's asking for the panel, if you could have any prop from any horror movie to own, what would be your choice? All right, Chris.
Sean Clark just bought it. It's the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead.
Nice.
Good choice.
Nice.
Mine is a little bit out of the box because not only would it be a horror grail, but it also covers another type of grail, it being a car. This would be the Barracuda or the Hemicuda from Phantasm.
Nice.
They are
Ooh.
extremely rare, so I could actually show it off and drive that, and also have horror fans just be like, "Oh, I know." So I've been in love with that car ever since a kid. So that would be mine.
I think for me, it would have to be maybe the original Freddy glove. Like that. Growing up, that was the horror icon I like really thought was awesome. And then when I got to college, he was the one like of the kind of the 80s horror. He's the one I gravitated towards. Now, Ghostface was the one that introduced me to horror. Ghostface is in my, Scream's in my top 5 movies of all time. But I think like for the horror aspect, the Ghostface is just not as it's iconic, but it's like I feel like I need to go a little bit deeper cut than the Ghostface. And Freddy's glove isn't that deep, but it just feels like it's a little bit more nostalgic for me.
Sam?
I was going to say I would have to have one of the pieces of furniture, one of the pieces of bone furniture from the Bone Room in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would love to
By the
watch
way,
Chainsaw on that sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and real quick, Larry Russell says hi. He's on the Movies That Make You stream right now, but he said, "Tell Larry hello."
How's it going, Russell, my
Awesome.
man? How you doing? Thanks for coming by and hanging out, my man. As for mine, It's kind of hard because Full Moon released it, so it's a Bloodstone. That's one of them, which I bought the 1-to-1 replica, so I have that. But actual prop, to kind of piggyback off of Brendan's a little bit from something he said earlier. The stones from Warlock 2.
Whoa,
I would
That's
love to
good.
have that.
Yeah.
that's epic.
Or that book, the Grand Grimoire from the first one.
That's crazy.
That would probably be
Oh, yeah.
like up there for me. And it's a deep cut too, I would say.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That would be very impressive to show off.
What about you, Josh?
I would probably have the dummy of Paris Hilton from House of Wax. No, I'm just kidding. I would
Whoa.
probably no, I don't know. Honestly, mine would probably be. It's tough because it'd be something from John Carpenter. I mean, whether it's Halloween or probably The Thing. I mean, if I could get my hands on like one of the practical effects from The Thing, I would.
Mhm.
I mean, that's definitely a girl piece for sure.
For sure. If I can share my Frightmare story, mine goes back all the way to 2024. Me and my son got tickets to go see Scream at a showing on Thursday night for Frightmare. I didn't know what Frightmare was, but it just said that on the Alamo Draft House. I was like, all right, cool, let's go, buddy. We get there and we're sitting at the bar, like just hanging out, grabbing some food. And then I'm like, it feels like people should be gathering for the movie. And I went to the front desk and I was like, is Scream showing happening? They're like, no, it got delayed to Sunday night because of flights or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. So I decided I'm gonna, we're gonna come back on that Sunday night. We come back on Sunday night, and we're sitting again at the restaurant at the bar, grabbing some food, and then this dude walks up with a big beard, and he grabs a beer, and it's just me and us and him, and we just start chatting, and he's like, yeah, I'm here for Frightmare. And I'm like, oh, how is that? How's that cool? And he starts talking about Matt Lillard and all the cool stuff that he got to see at Frightmare. And he's like, you should go to Frightmare. And that is our good friend, Papa Goss, who is joining us. And that was 2 years ago this week, guys. 2 years ago this week, Papa Goss and I met. So in honor of that, I have to showcase my new Papa Goss hat. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Nice.
you know what's even crazier? I've told Spring this before, but I saw him. So Thursday night, I drove down because my wife and my son drove down the next day just because they had stuff they were gonna get done here first, and so I had tickets to the Scream showing, and so Jess was like, "Go ahead, go down, have fun, hang out early, whatever." So I hurried down, got down there, and then as Spring said, they said that the flights all got delayed because of thunderstorms or whatever. But when I walked in and I found that out, I kind of stood in the Alamo lobby for a second, and I saw Spring and his son when they asked the front desk. I was like so crazy. I was standing watching them, and then flash forward 3 more days later.
Yeah.
And then the other surreal part is I almost skipped the rescheduled one because I was like, oh man, it was a long weekend. I was like, whatever. But we had drove separately, so Jess was like, you need to go. She's like, you bought tickets, you might as well go. I actually had tickets to both the Thanksgiving screening and the Scream one, but I was waiting in Skeet's line, and they were closing down the convention and stuff, so I had to hurry over there, and I missed the Q&A with Eli Roth. So I was like, I just got my refund on my ticket, and then and then I went to the bar, sat down, and it was literally the three of us. Me. I was at the bar. Spring and his son were just sitting by the window, and if I would have skipped that convention, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
We might not have even.
We
Movies
wouldn't
That
be
Make You
here.
might not be what it is right now. So it's pretty
Exactly.
surreal. And
Well,
then
and I
even
think
And I got
Oh, go ahead,
I
Larry.
was gonna say what's interesting is that like y'all say that, but I was there for the Thanksgiving.
Nice.
I was
That's
at the
crazy.
Thanksgiving screening.
Yeah.
So me and my buddy had a couple beers at the bar as
We
well
probably saw each other.
before the. We
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
have like we
We
wouldn't even
probably
known
were
it.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been in the same. I've seen like Brendan's videos, and I was like, man, I just barely missed, him at this
Mhm.
convention or this one. Um, Same with
Yeah.
Chris. Like before, Chris and I started talking, I was like, man, I was at that convention, but I mean, we didn't ever run into each other, but I saw all the same people that he saw. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
just crazy. And then even more full circle is this. So Sunday will mark officially 2 years, and Spring and I are going to the Scream
Scream
screening
showing.
with the live
That's
commentary.
crazy.
So like, yeah, we went to a Scream Q&A 2 years ago, met each other, and then flash forward 2 years, and we're gonna go to
Yeah.
this live commentary one. So yeah,
And I
fun.
think the other thing that marks this occasion special, and I appreciate everybody that's on this podcast, but I wouldn't know any of you guys without this man. Like I wouldn't be a part of this community. I wouldn't know how awesome this fan club is and this fan base is. I wouldn't know how easy it is to just make friends in this community. And so I have to thank you, Josh, for introducing me to these guys. I mean, this has been so much fun. Every time we start a podcast, he's like, "Oh, I know somebody that loves that. Oh, I know somebody that loves that." And so just to be able to kind of bring you guys into my world has been a blessing. And I just thank you guys for being here. I know that's kind of sentimental to kick off of Frightmare, but man, it just feels right.
It's a pleasure, man.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure. Now, before we move on, I got another question from one of the people like on my side.
Yeah.
Another solid banger question too. It says if you were invited to stay over at a haunted house, and you get to bring 3 people with you from horror, like actors or directors, who would your 3 be? Let's start off.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Okay.
I mean, I one for sure.
Can you say it one more time, Larry? Just one more time to give us time to think.
Yeah. So the question again is, if you were invited to stay the night in a haunted house, and you get to bring 3 people from you within horror, whether it be actors or directors, who would the 3 be?
Okay.
Alive or dead?
Okay.
Alive or
Perfect.
dead?
That's what I was about to ask.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
he put
important.
that after. He put that after. Sorry.
Nice. Nice.
Okay.
Well, I can go.
Okay.
I have to bring my boy Papa Goss, obviously, and then I'd have to bring Matt Lillard because he's just the
Right.
most amazing human being, and then Wes Craven because he's directed and created 2 of my favorite horror franchises with Nightmare and Scream. So it feels kind of easy for me. It might be a cop out because it's so close, but that's where I land.
Who wants to go next? Larry?
Chris?
I'll go real quick. So I'll bring a character from Ash versus Evil Dead. I'll bring Kelly Maxwell because she's a badass. I'd like to bring Dana, but I want Kelly Maxwell to be there. And then I want to bring Gunther, the monster from Toby Hooper's Funhouse, because it sounds like haunted house, funhouse. I'd want Gunther there in the Frankenstein suit, and then probably Toby Hooper, which may be a cop out, but I mean, it's favorite movie. So I want Toby there to help kind of direct whatever's going on.
Nice.
Oh, those
And
are good.
I would be,
Toby's
I would be
awesome.
at Stewmaker's house. That's where the haunted house would be. At Stewmaker's.
Cool to stay with where the house is. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
I think for me, I like quips. I like conversation. I like stuff like that. So for me, mine would be okay. Of course, I'm a Freddy fanboy, so Robert Englund would have to be amongst that. Of course, we all know that Robert's a talker. He would constantly have something to say about whatever is going on. So you would just have a blast with him. My second person would be Cassandra Peterson, but she would have to be in her Elvira costume. That would have to be another one that would just be so appropriate. And my last person would be just the ultimate round off for that crew, and that would be Vincent Price.
Nice.
Just his
Ooh,
voice
dang.
along, just setting the scene and the atmosphere. I think that would just be my perfect haunted house party.
One of just to interrupt real quick, Russell, one of our guys, my guy Russell, he also mentioned Vincent Price as he would have him there too. So that's
Nice.
a good one. That is a definitely good
That's
one.
a good trio.
Yep. What about you, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna have to copy Chris on Toby Hooper.
Oh, sorry.
Leatherface and George J.
Sorry,
Romero.
Say that one more time. I had you muted. Oh. Say that again. Sorry, my bad.
Sorry. I would have to copy off of Chris and say Toby Hooper, Leatherface, and George A. Romero. Can you imagine the conversation?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, it would be Romero number one. Number two would be Carpenter, and then just for laughs, Bruce Campbell.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I feel like like
Nice.
Romero and Carpenter would be like,
like it.
the more of the they'd get into things, like, the conversation, and then Bruce would come up with some funny, to like, I guess, break up the tension or break up something, I don't know. But no, that was a good question. Thanks again, Eric, for that one.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
a really good
That
one.
was a good one.
I'd have to say Leatherface, Sans,
Absolutely.
Chainsaw.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah, leave it out at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
And I did show my shirt earlier, but I got this.
Oh,
at
that is
Hooper's
sick.
down in Kingsland, Texas. So it's a
When
Texas
did y'all go,
Chainsaw
Spring?
Massacre
How long
shirt.
ago was that?
So that was amazing. That was like Sunday. So like we just went. We were down there for the Spartan race on Saturday, and then we woke up the next day and went and did the whole breakfast thing. And actually, it was my father-in-law and his that told us about it, because they go down there to golf a lot, and they're like, you should check out the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. And so we did. I tried to recreate the picture with Kristen, of that kind of epic kind of walk up. And what's funny is when I threw it into TikTok, it made it look even that much cooler. I was like, oh, that looks awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, that
It was
place
fun,
is
though.
awesome.
They had some fun stuff up in the attic.
Oh yeah, in the attic. Yeah, my dad's in Austin, so we.
What were you gonna say?
I told my dad about that place, and I had never. All the times I went to Austin, I was like, Dad, it's only like an hour from where you live, and the last time I went out there last summer, we took both of us and my son. We just drove down there and checked it out and got some appetizers and walked around, and then my dad, his neighborhood is like 15 minutes from the cemetery from Texas Chainsaw. So like we drove over there on the way back. We stopped by there because I had no idea it was that close to his house. So we stopped by there. But yeah, it was really fun. It was it's cool. It's just fun. Like, they serve you the food. They like come out of the door, and you're just so used to like that door being just so haunting. I kept looking at them, like bringing food out of there, and I was like, man, that's the door. That's where the door was. That's crazy. But yeah, really cool. I mean, that bar next door that's attached, the Hooper's bar, that thing is so cool. All the memorabilia in there and autographs and pinball machine, like, just so cool. I mean, the bar was pretty packed the day my dad and I went in there, so we just kind of walked around and then got some stuff, and it was like incredibly hot that day that we went. So we went and got some drinks nearby on the water and just chilled out. But yeah, really cool. I'm glad you guys got to go see that. That was cool.
The food is legit good. Like it's a good restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels so weird,
absolutely.
like walking onto that porch, for the first time, because you're just like, oh man, I've seen this film so many times. I know what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I So we met a lady. There was a lady. I was like about to walk in, and I turned back, and there was a lady coming up, and I was like, "I'm kind of scared to walk in here." And she kind of laughed, and then she's like, "Hey, my husband and I are renewing our vows. We've been married for 30 years. We're renewing our vows here." And they said that there's a guy across the street that does Leatherface dress up. So they're going to have the officiant doing the wedding, and then when they reach the point of, are you going to commit to this person for the next 30 years? Leatherface is going to start the chainsaw and run in with the chainsaw at them down the aisle, and they're going to say, yeah, we do. So I thought that was the best. That was the best.
I just got ideas for my wife and our 30th year anniversary this year.
Oh,
What a
congratulations.
great idea.
Renew your vows.
Yeah, she's going to love that.
The top
Yeah.
Man,
of
that's
the-
awesome.
That's a big one, man. 30 years.
Yeah,
That's
congrats,
awesome.
man.
Thank
So
you.
that's a great question. It's not on the list though. Like, does your significant other, if you have one, girlfriend, boyfriend, brother, sister, who is it that you go to the movies with? Is it your spouse or is it friends? I didn't want to single anybody out. I know everybody's situation, but go ahead, Chris.
I just wanted to say something funny about so my fiance does not do horror movies, but she tolerates them for me occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Showed her the trailer, and I'm not going to say any spoilers. I showed her the trailer to Obsession, and she goes, "Yeah, I'll go see that." About
Didn't know
25
what she was in
minutes in,
for.
25 minutes in.
I looked over at her once, and she was just deadpan. Her neck was on a 45, looking at me like, "What the heck are we watching?" You know, and I just loved it. And I have, I brought one of the, One Wish
Oh,
Willows
nice.
with me just for a, to get some photos by the poster and stuff. And
Yeah.
on the way home, she said, "If you don't hide that thing, I'm throwing it in the trash because that is not staying in our house." I said, "It's not real." She goes, "I don't care. You better hide
Yeah.
it."
That's amazing.
I tried to
Yeah.
order one of those, but they were completely sold out by the time
They
I
keep
looked,
selling
so,
out. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're only like 7. I mean, he could make
They're
a
cheap.
killing on those things. They sell
Yeah.
on eBay for like 80 to 100
Yeah,
bucks.
I've seen that,
Jeez.
yeah.
Wow.
I need to
That's
sell
wild.
mine. No.
Right? And you
Well,
can buy
I've said it on the
more.
podcast before, but my wife is not a big horror fan either. She did not really watch them, but she did like things like The Shining. She likes that kind of more psychological horror, not the gross, gory horror. And so I tried to find connective tissue on that. And she did like Scream because of the humor, and it was a little bit more lighthearted. And so we've watched through a bunch of horror since being together, and she's been a trooper. And then there was one random Saturday, she said, "Let's watch The Conjuring." And I was like,
okay.
What? And I was like, because she said she doesn't like the spiritual horror because she gets to like, this could be real. And so I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so she enjoyed them for what they were. She was scared of them. And there's many times where she's like watching like this or looking at me because she doesn't want to, but she suffers through them. And then there's certain ones that she's just like, I'm never seeing that. And I'm like, that's fine. But then every once in a while, she likes to pull one out. So she's actually watching Send Help earlier today, which is horror adjacent, right? It's Sam Raimi, and it's got some stuff. But yeah, so that's kind of my story.
Nice. Yeah, for me, sometimes my wife is she's more into sci-fi. So sometimes she'll watch something with me, like she went with me to go see, well, that's the other funny thing too, is she's into the old school Toxic Avenger. So when they were doing the remake, I told her like, "Hey, let's go watch this since you like to talk Toxic Avenger." We both had a blast watching it. We were laughing, and it was like gory and funny, and just it was so good. I showed her Hereditary, which she thought that was pretty good. The one that she was like, "Oh, I knew from the beginning," was Thanksgiving. She was like, "Oh, I knew who it was. It was this guy from the beginning." I was like, "Really?" Like, I didn't even see that when I thought about it, but they give you so many different people that it could have been, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But if not her, I go with my buddy Joe. You know, who y'all will meet when we all meet up at Frightmare.
Awesome.
Anybody else?
In regards to me, pretty much, in nowadays, my main horror watch along buddy is my son.
Nice.
So he's getting his horror education, but he's pretty knowledgeable at his age. He's way further along in regards to what he knows. Than I was at that age, and even I just left horror, but he does his own research, and he'll come to me like, "Hey, Dad, did you know that, this whatever horror fact?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did know that, but the fact that you know that, that tells me that you're doing your own homework, and that's
Yeah.
pretty cool that you are a fan." And he likes the special effects aspect of it, so he's the one that always likes to watch the behind the scenes stuff. So I'll show them like behind the scenes of like Nightmare 3 or 4, or just whatever slasher or whatever, essential horror film, so that he can just see the work of the masters. So he is a bit of a Tom Savini fan, and he knows about certain aspects of the craft. So I like being able to discuss that with him. And as he gets older, maybe he'll want to get his hands a bit dirty and start making some effects and stuff. Now that a lot of these haunted houses and things of that
Hmm.
nature are getting kids and teens involved to learn the craft. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's parenting.
So I got to
done
give a
right.
shout out. What was that, Chris?
Parenting done right.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Appreciate
I
that.
got to give a shout out to our buddy ATXFX, Jason
yeah.
Blinds. So Josh and I got to interview him. He did special effects on Iron Lung. He's down in Austin, and he said anytime we're down there to hit him up. And we've already
Yeah.
talked about it. We've talked about doing an Austin trip, and they just opened up Troublemaker Studios for fans to get tours of Troublemaker Studios. So I think it's like a perfect opportunity sometime this summer, maybe this fall. We just all decide like, hey, let's pick a weekend, go down to Austin and just make a day, and then you can introduce your son to a guy that does it for real, and he can show him some of his cool gadgets and cool tricks. Maybe
So
build
cool.
that connection.
Yeah, he's become a really good friend of the show. But yeah, they filmed the Iron Lung at Troublemaker Studios, which is really cool. So they even were blowing Robert Rodriguez's mind, and he's been around so many cool special effects driven films. But yeah, where they filmed it in the what is it called, the Namco, or
Yeah, something like
yeah,
forget.
whatever the machine was that
Yeah.
Markiplier filmed the whole movie in. They just raved about, and they gave us so much cool like behind the scenes
Yeah.
stuff. And
The
but yeah,
NECMO,
he's trying
or
NACMO.
whatever.
That's what it was. Yeah, but he's wanting to start his own podcast. I don't know about like makeup effects or whatever,
Mhm.
but he's been hitting us up for. He's like, hey, he's like, I could really use some help, and he gave us a really nice, like, awesome review of the podcast that he was on, the episode. So that was
Yeah.
really cool. So we were like, heck yeah, man. But yeah, Jason's cool, and he's apparently he's a really good singer. We asked him who he would want to share a drink or a coffee with or whatever, and he's like, I don't think I would have a drink. He's like, I would want to go hang out at a karaoke bar with Jack Black. And he was like, I just want to sing. He's like, I want to sing with Jack Black because I love him. And I was like, heck yeah, man.
That's
So
great.
yeah, he's awesome.
Very cool.
So looks like we have another question.
Sure.
If I can jump in real quick.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Lucky, or actually, let me see, make sure. Lucky's saying, what actor would y'all like to bring to Frightmare that has never been?
That's a
Mine's easy, but
Chris?
Lauren Marie Taylor from Friday the 13th Part 2.
oh, nice.
Fabregas?
Mine has been for a while now, but Jamie Lee Curtis obviously would be, just because she's the queen. I would love. I just like. I mean, even her non-horror stuff, like just her personality and her, just how much she like loves human beings, and like I don't know. And I would love to just meet her in person. I have a couple of autos from her, but yeah, they're not. I got to add her to my Halloween cast poster as well. So
Most definitely.
even a private signing. Like I haven't seen her name pop up for like, I know she does like charity signings and stuff, but
Mhm.
yeah, I would be totally down with that.
Brendan?
Okay, admittedly, there's two. There's two that come to mind, so I'm going to give you both. One would be Mia Goth, mainly
Oh
because I'm a
man.
huge fanboy.
Nice.
I would love to get her on my X Pearl Maxine trilogy poster that I have that I
Heck
already have Ty
yes.
West autograph on. So Mia
Perfect.
would just be a perfect fit along with that. And my other one would be another person I would need to add to my A Nightmare on Elm Street poster. That would be Johnny Depp.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh,
Good pulls, man. Good pulls.
That would be good.
nice.
I mean,
What
my
about you, Sam?
poster. Oh, go
Or
ahead, Sam.
Spring?
No, that's fine. Sam, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm not educated enough on who's been there and who hasn't. So, but then when Brennan said that about Mia Goth, I've got to agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fire. That's fire.
I will stand in line for that.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she
Yeah.
would get announced last year just by on a whim. I know he canceled last year, or he cancels a lot, but like when Ty West got or when he got announced last year for Frightmare, I was like, oh my god, are they gonna get like Mia Goth and
That'd be
like some
amazing.
crazy names? But that never happened. So we'll see one of these days. I'm sure she would do it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure she would eventually. A lot of these celebrities are you wouldn't think would start signing are starting to do it. So, like I know
Mhm.
Fan Expo Dallas, they're already announcing crazy. Like Mel Gibson's gonna
Mel
be
Gibson,
there.
Danny Glover,
Danny
Lethal
Glover.
Weapon. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, Alec Baldwin. So like they're. I'm surprised Alec Baldwin because he's been doing cons for a few years now. I'm surprised he hasn't done Frightmare like him and Gina Davis. I would think
Yeah.
they would
Oh,
be
that would be great.
maybe next year. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
What about you, Spring?
So mine's going to be fairly new. I don't know if she's been, but because of my Scream poster, because I know Nev Campbell has been at Frightmare, I can't say Nev. So I would say Courtney Cox and Drew
Ooh,
Barrymore.
that's a good one.
Like
That's a great one.
I need to finish that. At least that initial cast would be awesome. But like Courtney Cox would be crazy, just because she was a big TV star too, and Drew's been crazy big too. But Courtney Cox was so integral to the Scream series that it would just be awesome to get her.
She was She was one of my guesses for when Lloyd was about to make the big, and it ended up being Emma Roberts. But
Mhm.
that was my guess because I was like, dang, who's like big but like not. I don't know. And then his hints were misleading because he said
Yeah.
like she's a
Scream.
real Scream
Yeah,
queen or whatever.
I was
But
thinking.
then
I was thinking. What's her name too?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
and then
I was
but
thinking.
people in the comments, I think Lloyd was just messing with people because then like people said they're like, oh my god, is it Courtney Cox? And he's like, well, I didn't say it was necessarily a Scream person, but then Emma Roberts is in Scream 4, so I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? So you're like
Yeah.
misleading. I think he did that on purpose just to make it
Yeah.
a bigger announcement, but
And I like
Anyway.
Larry's response every time.
yeah, come
It's great.
on,
It's why.
maybe
Yeah,
Shane
exactly,
Black.
man.
Yeah,
Maybe Shane
the
Black will
Predator,
be there.
man. The Predator. Come on. That's great. Shane Black.
Don't get me started
Um,
on that, man.
Yeah. My bad.
They'll have a Predator reunion next year, but it'll be the Predator, not not Predator. But Larry will be like, "Oh my god!" The hint will be like something Predator related, and Larry will be like, "Yes," and then they'll be like,
do
"The
it.
first one is
Arnie, or like Shane
Keegan
Black.
Michael
I'm like,
Key,
Shane Black.
aw.
Jacob Tremblay." Or the world's greatest actress, Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn.
Yeah, like man.
Yeah.
The greatest
that's
line
classic.
delivery in the history of cinema, Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Oh, crazy.
Terrible.
No,
Hey, so,
for
well, go ahead, Larry. What are you gonna say?
no, I was gonna say for mine. I don't think. Well, I mean, I know one of them for sure. I mean, Kurt Russell. That's never gonna happen.
Oh man, good one.
The other one would be, and I've said it before, but I don't think they'll ever get him. At least I don't think so. Is Anders Hoove for Subspecies?
Oh, nice.
That'd be good.
Nice.
You never know.
This is cool. I do have another good question from two boys and their scary pops. If you guys want to take that one, here we go.
Oh,
It's going
yeah.
on the
Before we
screen.
do that
Oh,
one,
go
can
ahead.
you do? We had another question before that.
Oh,
Unless
sure.
you guys already did this. What's the best celebrity guest experience you've ever had at Texas Frightmare?
Best
They
celebrity experience.
messaged that like
Yeah,
a little bit ago. So we'll do that one
I'll throw it
first.
up on the screen. Here we go. There it is. Best
Yeah.
celebrity guest experience. Go ahead, Larry.
Oh no, I'm just doing the wheel. Like, who wants to go first? But if you want me to go first, I'll go first. I mean,
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
man,
do it.
that's
Eric, we'll get to yours in a sec, buddy. Thank you for being patient.
that's man, that's a hard one because to what Brennan said earlier about Robert England, like I can tell you that dude is an amazing storyteller. The first time I met him, like there was a guy in front of me. He was talking. They were back and forth, and he looks at me and he brought me into the chat, and we were chatting for like 30 minutes, and then it was my turn. And I was just like, I was like, I don't even know what to ask you after that. And then,
Yeah.
then I asked him, and then he broke down all of the Nightmare films, and he said, which is like, which is his favorite, which is like, well, the fan favorite is this one, and this blah blah blah, and like he went on for another good while, and I was like, man, that was great.
That's awesome.
That I mean, there was Kane Hodder. I have a great story about him where he just like this guy was gonna have him sign a Freddy versus Jason picture that his little girl drew, and he explained to the guy, he's like, "Look, that I'm not that Jason." He went into a whole thing, but you know what? He signed it because it was for his little girl. It was like the little girl drew a Jason, and so he drew it right, or he signed it. And then the next guy up had a Freddy versus Jason one sheet poster for him to sign. So then Kane looks over to me and he's just like, and I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I sat down, and then not knowing, when I leaned in for the picture, all of a sudden I just feel something like around my neck, and I was just like, oh. So there's two pictures, one picture of me like this, and one picture where I'm like, so yeah. But I would have to say one of my favorites though is Angus Scrim. Angus
Nice.
Scrim was probably one of my favorites because I sat down with him and like they were getting ready to take the photo. I was like, so what do you do? Like he legit like wanted to have a in-depth conversation. It was like meeting somebody's grandfather, And then after that he had passed away, so it was just kind of like, man, that was just, it kind of tugged on the heartstrings a little bit more, like that experience. So
Awesome.
but yeah, those are some of my favorites. I mean, aside from Romero, I mean, I've said that multiple times. I both times I met Romero, like I was just like awestruck, man.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Who's next?
Yeah. Who's next?
I'll jump in here on this one.
All right, Sam.
I think my favorite is one time we got to meet Bonnie Aarons for the Nun,
Nice.
and we had some.
You took my story. But
Oh,
no,
I'm
no, no, no,
sorry.
no, no. I wanted you to because I can't
Yeah.
remember. But
Well-
I'm so glad you're saying that.
So I had
Buckle
some photos signed for my kids. They were like, "You got to get us the Nun autograph." So I did that first thing when we got there that year. And so Chris and I, is like, we're winding down the last day, and we're taking some stuff out to the truck to get ready to go home. And we left quite a bit of stuff back in the room. Well, by the time we got back to the room, housekeeping had already been there, even though we had put do not disturb.
And we had late checkout, which is
Yeah.
typically between 1 and 3. This was at 10:05 a.m. And we took everything we didn't care about to the truck. And I'll shut up now.
So I had those pictures were sitting on a Mondo Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like number 40 out of 500
I had
poster.
VIP. Yep.
Yeah. And so anyway, those got thrown in the trash.
No.
Luckily, yeah. And they not just thrown in the trash, but like wadded up and thrown in the trash.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So when we got there, they were still outside the room cleaning up, and we were like, "Where's our stuff?" And so as this whole thing happened, and so finally we end up going downstairs. We're going to go to the lobby and talk to everybody and see if we figure out what's going on, how they're going to, fix this. And you'll never guess who got on the elevator with us. Bonnie Aarons.
Wow.
And so we showed her the posters that were wadded up, and she was like, "Don't worry about it. Come back to the booth here in just a little bit, and I'll get you new ones."
Awesome.
So anyway, that was a really cool experience with her, because
That's
she was
crazy.
just like, she said, "That's disgusting." And I don't know if you've ever met her, but she's very loud and very like an aggressive personality. And anyway, that was super cool.
Yeah.
I have to
Man,
ask because
that's
I
crazy.
don't know if you Chris had said it, but which Mondo poster for Texas Chainsaw was it?
Oh, it was like the 50th anniversary. It's it's a lot of orange. It's the one they were selling 2 years ago. I took it down. It's in the room. I had to make room for it for us to put these sets up. But
I mean,
I'll send you a
regardless.
picture.
Yeah, the
and it was
Mondo posters are freaking crazy.
It was a
man.
low number
Let me go
because
quick.
I had VIP, and the only thing I wanted to do was get him a low number, and so he got like 40. And I went back later and got like 170. So there was 2 Mondo posters that got, and again, they didn't just place it in the dumpster. They
Right.
creased and fold and creased and fold like
Jeez.
they were mad at it, and they didn't know. But yeah, that Mondo was really cool too, because we went back to them and we're like, "Hey man," and we were like, I was like, the whole thing is that it was a low, like it was number 40 or whatever, and they were the coolest. And he goes, "You know what?" He goes, "We've never had this happen, but we keep about," he's like, "we keep about 5 overruns for situations." Not, they can't say like this because this had never happened.
Right. It's never happened. Yeah.
But for whatever, they're sitting on at least, if they're sold out, there's at least 3 to 5, 6, 7 more. So we had to surrender the damages, and they were able to renumber because it replaced, right?
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
it, just because it wasn't the physical one, like that's all they were doing is they were numbering them. So stand up of Mondo to do
Absolutely.
that, and it was crazy.
I do want to shout out to Lloyd and the Frightmare staff, because they got wind of what had happened.
Sean Clark,
And
because
Sean
he
Clark,
reps Bonnie.
and they kind of like gathered us up, and they're like, "Let's get you guys over." I mean, this was before the show opened, and they got us over there and got us the new posters, and they were like, "When you guys get ready to come back, whenever the show actually opens, you can take one of the black cars across the street, and we'll let you in the celebrity entrance." And we didn't take them up on it, and I'm still pissed because we didn't do that.
Why didn't we do that?
I was so stupid.
Yeah, it was
But I mean, I felt like they had already done so much for us at that point. I didn't
Right.
want to feel like I was taking advantage of them. But man, talk about how everybody just like I said, gathered us up and took care of us. So
That's awesome.
I'm always thankful for them.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is cool.
Is because I've had issues with Mondo towards like the end of them being like Mondo, not Funko Mondo or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that they did that for you guys, man.
Yeah, the guy was real stand up. And I'll just say, if I can jump in real quick, and it's not Frightmare, but because that's the story I was going to tell. 2 years later, or maybe whenever Bonnie was in Houston last, I don't know, Larry, if that was last year or 2 years ago. But I went and got her autograph, professional photo op. And when I was getting her autograph, just at her table, I said, "Hey, Bonnie," I go, "I know you probably don't remember this, but at Texas Frightmare," and she goes, "They wadded up your posters and stuff." And Christine from Child's Play was walking by, and she goes, "Christine, get over here. Listen to this story." She was like, "This is some beep and some beep beep."
Yeah.
And Christine was like, "That is some beep." Like it was so like Bonnie remembered once I brought it up, she wasn't like, "That's the guy that got his posters torn in half." And the whole thing, like I was mad about the low run of the chainsaw poster, but those other prints of the nun were for Sam's children,
Yeah.
and Bonnie, those celebrities, they still pay for those printouts of those glossies. Like they don't just get those for free. So she had to eat, whatever that was, $5 or $15 for that. It was 11 by 17, but that Bonnie remembered, and she got mad again. Like I get mad again. And she got Christine Elise mad. Like we had all these people mad in Houston about something that happened in Dallas.
That's amazing.
So see, Chris, you ruined their weekend. You've got
Yes.
Hey, if I'm good at something, I'll ruin the weekend real quick.
Yeah.
Chris is super easy going most of the time, but that morning I saw Late Night with the Devil in his eyes. I mean,
Yeah. That's a.
It was wild.
Hey man, I for those like Mondo posters too. It's just like when I first started collecting them, like my I guess it was my first year at Frightmare. They were doing I can't remember which print it was, but I saw people like just had it like this, and they were like kicking it as they were walking. I was like, oh. And then I was telling my buddy, I was texting my buddy Joe, and I was like, man, you'd be so disgusted right now. There's like people kicking like their Mondo posters. They don't even have them rolled up or anything. It's just like they're just like, oh, I'm like, oh my god, man.
Oh dang! What you got, Chris? What you got, Chris?
This is it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Holy cow. Yeah, that's a nice one.
And I've had Terry McMahon sign it and Jerry. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I kicked myself. That first Frightmare that I went to, I didn't know, I kind of got the lay of the land and stuff the Friday night, and in 2023, and Mondo had a really cool Lost Boys poster that year. It was like pink, and it was one of the coolest posters I've ever seen, but I didn't realize they were like extremely limited because I had never bought a Mondo poster at the time. So I was like, oh, we'll come back by like Saturday, and there was only like 125 because I didn't know that's how it worked. So I met Attack Peter that same year, and because he was at the John Carpenter screenings, and I bought one of his rice paper The Thing posters that's like limited to 120, I think. That was my first Mondo poster I ever bought. But
Nice.
man, I'm glad they made things right though for you guys, because that sucks.
They absolutely
I just can't
did.
believe they would just be like, well, this looks like trash. Like, no, it kind of looks important if you look at it.
We'll tell you the like off camera this weekend. We'll give you like the full, no expletives deleted, all the, we'll give you the R-rated version.
Crazy.
It's like, man, you're too mad. You have to go outside for a minute and let me take care of this part of it.
Take over.
And that's, if you know Chris, like he is the most easygoing person. And for him, like I was shocked to see the anger that just kind of washed over.
But if you
him.
do something to my friends' kids' stuff or my friends, any of y'all, Late Night with the Devil.
Dang.
Very cool.
That's crazy.
My first Frightmare was last year. I don't really have a whole lot of stories about celebrity guests. I got 2 Scream autographs. Melissa Barrera was nice. Nothing super memorable for me because it was my first, and so I was super nervous to even talk, and so I confused I was like, yeah, my wife couldn't be here today, and she said, what's your name? And I thought she said, what's her name? I said Kristen, and she said, Kristen? I said, oh, you meant my name. My bad. So I just felt like an idiot. Like that I can't say that was a good experience. But I will just say, kind of give my best Texas Frightmare experience, which was seeing my wife get really excited about horror, because she just was fascinated by the cosplay. She was fascinated by all of the vendors. It was a lot of fun there to see these characters that have played horror icons being in street clothes and being super kind was like fascinating for her. It was like, oh wow, they're real people. This is really cool. And then the biggest takeaway for her was realizing that there's so much going on behind the scenes. It's not just directors and actors. It's like producers and sound design and cinematography. And because we went to I know the year before they had done the Texas Chainsaw 50th, but they also brought back cinematographer and sound design the next year. So last year, and Kristen was fascinated by that. And she's like, oh, I want to go home and watch it. So we did that. And then she loved, Carpenter's wife was there, and she was just talking about all of the things that she's done for John, and the way that she's just kind of walked into boardrooms and just shown them who's what. And Kristen was just like, this is amazing. She's a boss girl, and so that was a lot of fun, because that's something, I think most of us here got into movies at some point and were fascinated by all that makes up the movie, whether it's the directors or it's the behind the scenes, DVD special features. Like those are the things that we grew up like really gravitating to. And this was her first exposure to any of that. And so for me, that was my Texas Frightmare memory that was just like super cool. And those celebrities that participated in making her feel like, hey, I want to know more about this genre. So
Nice, man. I
You
think we had
see, one that I can think of, it ties into my actual fun one, but that year, my first one, of course, I missed out on Robert England. It started out with me staking out like, oh geez, I got there at maybe like 4:30 in the morning that Sunday in hopes of getting there before the line was capped. Now, it still worked out that I got there at the perfect timing, even though as soon as we got there, they were like, okay, Robert's line is capped. I don't think you guys are going to make it. Now, if I would have stayed there and stuck around, I would have gotten his autograph because people canceled and didn't show up and they were looking for people to get signatures. I had to wait later for Robert, but I made a beeline over to Brad Dourif's line and I got there like right as it was capped. So me and my family were the last people in line for Brad before he had to get off and get his plane. So that was awesome. As we are waiting in that line, we're just talking to the people. We're just like expressing how glad we are that we made it before the line was capped. So of course, we're thanking the volunteer as part of the staff that let us know that hey, you are the last people. So we're just like, hey, thanks so much. Having conversations with people in line. This is how you make friends at conventions. Like the
Mhm.
people that are standing next to you may end up being friends for years to come just because you're just into the same movies. But got my autograph. Brad ended up giving a free autograph for my son. That was pretty awesome. And it's just like, okay, cool, great first experience. Now, what it takes me to last year's Frightmare, which is my favorite celebrity experience. So my number one autograph that I wanted to get was Patricia Arquette's autograph. Me being a huge Freddy Krueger fan, I have to get her autograph for my Dream Warriors poster. So I'm like, all right, this is going to be a first kind of experience. I tried it on Saturday in hopes of, hey, if I don't get it on Saturday, I can always try on Sunday. The line gets capped because so many people are trying to get her autograph and people are getting multiple things signed. And she's sticking in there like a champ. This for her first convention. She signed pretty much the entire time except for when she had to get her photo ops and lunch. So, I came by and they were just like, look, man, I know you have a virtual ticket, but it doesn't look like they're going to get you guys this number before the end of the day. Just come back tomorrow. And I'm like, all right, that sucks, but, it is what it is. Now, take note of this, people that go to conventions. When this happens, don't go off on the volunteer, don't go off on the staff because you don't get the autograph or you're not going to get the autograph that you want to get. That's how it is, that's how it happens. Try again next time. But this is how positive karma will work out for you. So I went off, enjoying the convention, and something told me, hey, let's just, go back by her line again. People, don't come back around, and anything can happen. So go by there, and who is in charge of Patricia Arquette's line but the same staff member who let me in for Brad Dourif's line that year? Every time I see her, ever since that one Frightmare, I always say what's up to her. We have a good conversation. I ask her how things are going, not expecting anything from it, but just to
Sure.
thank her from that time that she helped us out for Brad. She's like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, I just wanted to get Patricia's autograph. And she's like, did you get her autograph? And I'm like, no, they capped the line. And before I could finish that sentence, she's like grabbing me by the shirt to get me in there so that I can get her autograph. She's like, don't say anything, just go, go, go. And I'm like, did I ever tell you that I love you? Thank you so much. So I was literally the last person again to get Patricia's autograph for Frightmare, and my son was there with me. He got to experience it and tell her how much he enjoyed Dream Warriors as well. And she was like, very cool. How asked her how she enjoyed her first con experience. She had a great time, and it was just a very cool experience. Just knowing that I was going to have a great time if I didn't get her autograph, but just having that little bit of positivity and just coming back around, just saying what's up to a friend, not even expecting to ask her to get me in or anything like that, but for her to just be like, "Hey, go ahead, get your autograph," that just totally capped off my Frightmare.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to
Chris?
I wanted to add to something Brendan pointed out. And the volunteers, first of all, those guys are the real heroes of these conventions. Like they're what makes it work. And but some of my best friends, like especially at Frightmare, James Sackett is typically he's a big guy, beard, but he's a gentle giant. Bon Bon de la Cruz, another favorite. She's so awesome. Like, and these people, you can make friends with them. Like Brendan said, like, you make friends with vendors, and you'll make friends with celebrities, and you make friends with people standing in line. But those volunteers, man, those are some of the best people that you can befriend, and you may get some certain access out of it or whatever, and that's not why you do it. But you just got to remember, like, and I've considered being a volunteer before, and then I didn't, like, just for a minute, because I'm like, man, those guys catch so much flack, and they're just trying to do what's expected of them, but they're what makes the things run so smoothly. Like these things are, I can't even imagine trying to organize the smallest convention I've ever been to, much less what Lloyd does with Frightmare and what Tony does with Houston and what all the people do. So, just don't get mad. Like if they're getting like telling people to get in line or whatever, like they're tired. Like, how about offer them, can I go get you a bottle of water? Or, hey, do you need anything? And I know they have benefits where they could get their stuff too, but that's a hard job. No, it's not worth, you could get every autograph and every professional photo op. That's not worth standing there for 12 hours, or 12 hours a day for 3 days. So I just think it's cool that Brendan brought up that about the volunteers, because they're like the heartbeat or sort of the convention, I feel like.
Absolutely.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
I've
for
made
sure.
it. I've made it a point, like at least the last 3 years, any con I go to, especially Frightmare, OKC Horror, whatever. And now I'm really good friends with a lot of the OKC Horror people. But I always go up to every staff member, that as long as I can see all of them, and just let them know like how much they're appreciated. Because you're right. I mean, everything you said, Chris. Like these don't run without, that's what I say to them too. I'm like, these do not run smoothly without what you guys do, what you have to deal with, especially at Frightmare, which is that main floor gets so congested, especially over in the autograph alley. And like, depending on, whose table is next to, like, especially the Scream people, when they put them all in that one corner, like it is hard to navigate through there. And I met a few people that volunteer every year, and I'm friends with them on Facebook now, and we talk. I just told them last week, I was like, "Oh man, Frightmare, 1 week away. I can't wait to say hi to you guys and stuff." And just they're all so nice. But yeah, it's a lot of them have been doing it for a long time. They're like family with each other, and you just gotta treat them right. I mean, I don't think a lot of people take that into account. Like they just think, oh, they're just people on the, that are here. But I'm like, yeah, but they're telling you where to go, where you can get your virtual ticket, you can get your, this and that. They know the lay of the land if you've never been to a con before, especially Frightmare when it's tough to navigate the convention center sometimes. So yeah, they're the key to making it run, and Lloyd knows that too. I mean, they all post pictures with Lloyd when he comes out on the floor, and um, it's just the Frightmare Facebook group is really fun because there's just a lot of volunteers in there in that group. So it's I always like to give them their roses.
Nice.
I like to piggyback off of that too. Well, first off, for Lloyd, the year that Carpenter went, that first Friday, like when me and my buddy Joe saw Lloyd on the floor, we said hi and everything. We told him like, hey, thanks for putting on a great show, and we've been, I've been coming since 2014, blah blah blah. I gave him my whole story, and he just like his eyes watered, and you could tell he really appreciated it. To not just the volunteers, but I have to give a shout out to some of the unsung heroes that are not volunteers, but pretty much they deserved that volunteer shirt. There was these two guys a couple years back that I met, and I'm friends with them now. And we saw them again last year, and they were in the same spot. They had their chairs set up. They were just sitting in the shade on Friday, just waiting to get in. And everybody that came up, they were like, "Oh yeah," they were directing everybody. They were holding the door open, like, "Yeah, you get your will call through here." Oh well, the line starts over there. I'm like, "Man, they need to give you all a shirt." I was like, "I know, right?" So I got to give a shout out to those guys, Corey and I can't remember. I'm blanking on the other guy's name right now, but yeah, they were there last year. They're going to be there this year again. So I'm going to try to see if I can catch them in the sitting there on their fold-up chairs.
We'll have to make sure they get an invite to the meetup. Make sure that you say, "Hey, we're going to meet up at this time. Make sure you come over so we can get pictures of them."
Man.
That'd be
awesome. I'll definitely tell them. And it's funny that you say that because Lucky was saying y'all should do a meetup for fans.
Oh yeah, well that's the plan. That's the plan. Saturday. We still have to decide on the time, I think, right, Larry? But in a place. Do we have a place? We have a place, right? We're gonna go to the hotel bar, or are we doing that Mexican restaurant?
Hotel bar. We're gonna knock it. We're gonna knock it out, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's up to you all. Like I know we're still kind of like we wanted to make sure everybody's time would work and everything. But yeah, maybe we'll post something in the Frightmare group and probably in our community posts and stuff like that. So lucky if you're still watching, then yeah, you might get to see that in one of somewhere where we're all meeting up.
Yeah, definitely follow one of us on Instagram, and you'll see a post at least from us on Instagram, time and place. So it'll be good. Josh, did you go about your favorite, your celebrity
experience? Well, I told you guys earlier in the stream about the cool thing about Matt Lillard. I mean, that's kind of an easy one. A more popular one, it actually came up in the Iron Lung creators conversation, but Doug Jones, he is one of the first. I mean, even over John Carpenter, he's one of the first people that I was like actually pretty if starstruck's a thing, like that was. I mean, I was so excited to meet him just because people call him like our generation's Boris Karloff and all that, just because of all his creature acting and stuff. But he was everything I wanted and more. He takes the really cool pictures with the fans and like holds your head, and he leaned down, and he's really tall. He got down next to my son for one of the pictures, and I had a Shape of Water poster that was that I ordered on eBay that was signed by Del Toro already, and I pulled that out, and he like confirmed that he was like, "Where did you get this?" He's like he knew that was Del Toro's signature, and he just thought it was so cool. And then I told him how much like I loved him and like what his work means to me and stuff. And he said, "I don't deserve you," is what he said to me. And I was like, "Oh my God, he's the coolest." And then even cooler. So when I met him at Frightmare, this was the last time I went. So 2024, this was just a couple years ago. And, when I posted my pictures from Frightmare of all the like with the celebrities and stuff, this lady reached out to me, and she lives in LA, and she is retired now, but she used to work on movies. Like she did like set designs and makeup and like costume stuff back in the day. But she is really good friends with Doug Jones. Like she goes and we'll message each other on Instagram, and she's like, "I'm going to Dick Van Dyke's house today, and Doug and his wife are going to be there." And she's like, "Do you want me to tell him anything?" And I'm like, "Just tell him I love him, but whatever." And now I'm so excited. Yesterday they launched the Kickstarter for the Doug Jones documentary, Get Me Doug Jones. So I'm like super excited. He's gonna get his his praise. And to top it all off, I was an extra in a horror movie in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It hasn't come out yet. They're still finishing it. But Doug Jones plays himself in the movie, and it takes place at a horror convention. And Doug Jones plays himself. Ron Perlman's in it. Julie Benz is the star of it. And we interviewed the director, Michael Zara, on the channel. But yeah, that was really cool. So when I saw Doug Jones' banner on set the day I was there, I didn't even know he was in the movie. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be in a movie that Doug Jones is in. So that was cool. But yeah, Doug Jones is my more out of left field than Matt. Like Matt Lillard's an easy go to because he's everything you hear about. But yeah, I would have to say Doug Jones at Frightmare especially was one of the best interactions I've ever had. So,
and I just realized Ron Perlman, you were in a movie with him. He's going to be at OKC Horror Con.
We're gonna host the panel that he's doing for Sons of Anarchy. So,
nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to him about that hopefully. But yeah, it'll be cool.
Did I ever tell y'all my Ron Perlman story?
No.
No? Okay, so I got an interesting one, or the funny one. So he went to, and this wasn't even like a horror con, it was like just a pop culture con, right? And so I was like fourth in line. I was like fourth or fifth in line. And then all of a sudden, like, he showed up a little bit late. And then as soon as he showed up, he started getting set up. They're like, oh, guys, sorry, I need to go do photo ops real quick. And the guy in front of me, he was just like, oh, like super loud. And then he just turns around and is like, you got somewhere to be? And no. It's like, no, do you got somewhere to be? And I was just like, oh, man, it's about to get real, And then he's like, no, it's okay. Okay, you five, and that's it. So literally, like, he did up to me. And I'm just getting a picture. And then we took a picture, but he was super cool after that. He's like, okay, guys, sorry, I have to go do photo ops or whatever. But at first I was just like, oh man, he's like, it's about to get real. But no, he was super cool.
He just literally meant, do you have somewhere to be? Because I can do something real quick. That's what he meant.
Yeah.
But it came across as like, you got somewhere to be? You would have,
Yeah.
That's
about to give him a belt.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I was like, oh man, I'm seeing Clay Morrow right here, I was just like, here we go, man.
Absolutely.
So no, yeah, he was super cool though.
I was just going to say that the underrated Ron Perlman is, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the Hand of God. Have y'all seen that?
I'm writing it down.
I mean, if everybody's into Ron Perlman, watch that because it's great.
Need to watch it.
Yeah, I've got my homework for OKC Horror Con to try and pick up some of these randoms because I think all the fans are going to have the pretty more obvious questions, and I want to be able to have some...
Sons of Anarchy.
Right, they're going to have those. Deeper. Yeah. So I'm putting that on the list for sure.
Oh, you're talking about the TV show or the series?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's a panel for Sons of Anarchy. It's like 3 or 4 of them, so it'll be fun.
What's up?
Yeah, Sam, I have seen I think a couple of those episodes.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
It's really
it was pretty good. I didn't finish it though yet.
Yep. What were you gonna say, Chris?
I was gonna circle way back to something Josh mentioned earlier about like friendships, made at these conventions and stuff. And Sam and I hit on it on one of our recent podcasts, either one of the last 2, but made more friends like once I got back from the convention, and you post a cool cosplay, and then a friend of who knows who did that cosplay says, hey, somebody posted your cosplay, and then they reach out and just say, thank you for supporting my cosplay. And then it starts a dialogue. And that's kind of what happened with Josh and I don't know who commented first, but I was at OKC, he was at OKC, never saw each other, never crossed paths. But one of us commented on somebody else's post after the fact. And then he was, he got the Doug Bradley talking about Doug. I was trying to bring it back to make sense, but he was talking about Doug Bradley, and he has the Doug Bradley banner. They did an auction at the end of the show. Well, I had to head back to Texas first thing Sunday morning. So I knew they were doing autographed banners as I believe is a fundraiser for Jesse,
Yep.
Mark Patton from Nightmare 2. And which, what a great cause, first of all, but all the actors and actresses were going to sign a banner and you could silent bid. Well, Dana DiLorenzo was there and he knew I was a huge fan. And, I couldn't stay anyway, but I figured, oh, it'll be too much. I can't stay. And Josh and I started talking, and, it was first of our friendship. And he said, hey, he goes, I see that you unhealthily like Dana DiLorenzo. No, he didn't say that, but he knew, what a good guy. He's like,
Yeah.
you're way into her. He goes, they were signing banners, at the end for a fundraiser for Mark. And I said, yeah, I said, I wanted to stay, but I had to get back. It's a 6-hour drive, whatever. And he goes, hers might've went for $40. And I'm like, oh my God, like I would pay 100. And he goes, well, I think I know who bought them, because somebody bought 2 or 3. And he was going to reach out to him, and it nothing ever came of it. But that's not what's important. What is important is this friendship that Josh and I started after the convention, which turned into, a year and a half or 2 years later at Tulsa. And I get to see Josh, and I get to meet Sprang for the first time, and I get to see Brendan again, and I get to meet Matt for the first time, Spooky Okie.
Yeah,
so
Spooky Okie,
now
yeah.
Tulsa is special to me just because I got to see all you guys, like bam, 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 bam. And I feel like that was kind of a precursor to what this weekend is going to be. Like, it'd be so cool to be with all of y'all in the same space,
Absolutely. Great story, man. Great call.
Well, yeah, because it's going to be almost like I'll get to meet Josh, Brendan, and Sprang
for the first
which,
time.
Coincidentally, if not for Josh tagging me in Chris's and Brendan's photo for Houston Horror, then I would have not known to look out for Chris. So when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah.
I found Brendan, just searching other creators. Like, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I was like, I'm going to these things. I enjoy them. I'm going to start recording them. And I was like, I'm going to see if anybody else has done this. And I was find the Horror Green book. I stumbled across it. And man, I loved Brendan's, just his take, his vibe. Like, I would make my wife sit there and watch it with me. She's like, what do you want to watch? I was like, I want to watch the Horror Green book, because he's going to conventions that I've never even dreamed of getting to or will get to, and then, so the first time I ran up on Brendan, it was almost surreal, and now I feel like we're just so cool and chill. Like, when we run into each other, it's so much fun, like it's just a cool thing.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I mean, Tulsa, and Tulsa. So last year was our first time doing any cons, and we did 4. So that's kind of the, Josh told us about Frightmare, and then it was like Father's Day weekend, and they were doing a OKC Tulsa deal. So we got that, and then we wanted to take the boys to Fan Expo, and so we did 4 cons last year, and it was like each of them kind of Frightmare, we kind of went by ourselves, and it was chill. Like, it was busy, but we kind of just dipped our toe in and then kind of went home. And then, like, this year we're there, we're at a hotel, we're staying, like, we're involved. But it was like, hey, how do we get kind of engaged with this experience? And then when we went to OKC, it was like, oh, we kind of we know what we're getting into, and it was smaller, so we were just all in all the panels and then the celebrity lines and all that stuff. And then Tulsa was kind of expanding beyond, because then we got to hang out with Josh for the first time, because the last time I saw him was 2 years ago at the at the Frightmare showing a Scream. And so we hadn't hung out in person in all that time. So it was just like, and then to meet you all, just great. Yeah. So I'm in perfect agreement with you, Chris. Like, this weekend's going to be amazing. So what's some of the guests you're excited about for this year? And then I'm not going to skip the Scary Pops question. We're going to come back to it, but that's kind of piggybacking on this conversation around what we're excited about for this year. What are you excited about for this year? Let's start with you, Larry.
I mean, first and foremost, like, my biggest excitement is actually meeting all you guys. Getting to hang out with you guys and do, I can only imagine all of the stories that we're going to share, stories that we're going to experience. That's first and foremost. I mean, heck, even my buddy Joe, I started
Mm-hmm.
telling him like, hey man, you know, because I'll a little bit of backstory. Last year was the first year we actually started doing more stuff, like being more social. So like I had told him, I'm like, hey, do you think that we don't socialize that much? And he, we kind of got into a conversation, but then
Yes,
the
sir.
hotel we were staying at, like we some of the artists that were there, they were staying at that hotel. So like Saturday night, we were just like, we closed down the bar, like all me, my buddy Joe, and a bunch of the artists, and we were all just like hanging out, talking, just talking shop about everything, and it was great. It was friggin' awesome. The bartender ladies, they were super awesome as well. They turned us on to some like horror movie that I hadn't heard of, and it was actually really good. And no, but for this year, I'm really hoping Warwick Davis is the one that I was like, okay, I was bummed when he canceled the last time, but I totally understood when, because his wife had passed away. And beyond that, meeting everybody from Halloween 3. Like I've already met Tom Atkins and Tommy Lee Wallace, but I mean, Alan's going to be there. I can't remember. I'm blanking on her name right now, but the girl's going to be there from Halloween 3. It's like now I have a print that I want them to sign all together because I
Mm-hmm.
have an 8x10 of Dick Warlock and Tom Atkins. Like I have them both signed it. So that one's really cool. But I mean, having them all together is like, man, I got to get something Halloween 3 of them all to sign together. So I mean, there's that. I mean, there's those are probably my main ones that I want to get. Aside from like Shawnee Smith, I want her to sign my
Mm-hmm.
Blob 1980s, the 80s Blob poster that I got last year.
Nice.
That's signed by Kevin Dillon. I want her to sign that now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What about you, Brendan?
Oh man, I have to agree with Larry. He already said like two of my heavy hitters being Warwick Davis, same exact thing, totally understood why he canceled. It was crazy because I had an opportunity to get his autograph earlier at in Las Vegas at Days of the Dead, and he canceled then, but we didn't exactly know then. So it was just like, okay, well, I'll eventually see him at Frightmare, and then he canceled Frightmare, and it was like, okay, something's definitely going on. And then the story got out, and it was like, okay, well, I will eventually catch him whenever he gets back to the cons. Then Shawnee Smith, same thing from my blob poster from last year, that foil poster that was just like so cool. And I'm like, you know what? I have to get an autograph on that. I still have to get Kevin Dillon's autograph on that as well. So great minds thinking alike in regards to that. But to just bring up someone that isn't someone that I have already, that would be Stacy Nelkin. I want to get her on my Halloween 3 poster that I have with, of course, the man that I just absolutely have to get, the good doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to get her on there as well. So that's going to be pretty dope to get as well. So those are my main ones. I'm not going to get too many autographs. It's so hard to, but I may sacrifice to get Mira's autograph as well because I want her to get autograph the stuff container, even though she's barely in there. I don't even think I've ever even spotted her in that film,
Yeah.
but the fact that she's on there and I want to ask her about her old man, that would be pretty cool.
Nice. That's awesome. What about you, Sam? Who you looking forward to this year?
Jamie Lee Presley.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what the connection is there, but anyway, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Nice. Chris, how about you?
Rowan Campbell, Corey Cunningham from
Nice.
Halloween Ends. I had Chris
Oh,
Nelson
nice.
sign this when I went to Burbank, so got to get Rowan to sign this. I was there wasn't a whole lot of guests that I felt like I needed to, just because I've been like in this zone of like really trying to, just because I was running out of space, and running out of
Mm-hmm.
money and running out of. So kind of like Larry said, and Sam and I have been talking about it for weeks, that we're most excited about seriously hanging out with you guys. This is not a commercial for, I mean, it can be, but it's not a commercial for our meetup. But that's what I'm most excited about. So name the time, name the place. I mean, Mesa Mezcal works great for us because we're staying at the Westin, but it's also right across the street. If it's not too hot, there's a nice big patio. But we've seen more cool like celebrity interactions, like even like forget the meetup, just go over to Mesa Mezcal at a random time, and like we saw Linda Blair in there just chilling. And I mean, anybody, like they're all right there because most of them are staying at the Westin. So it's a good place to just people watch, even just sit in the lobby and watch them come in and out. Now I will say this, we figured out real quick that we were hanging out with our buddy, again, cosplayers, great people to befriend at these conventions. Don't just take their picture, get to know them. So SoCal Leatherface, Felix, great friend of ours. And we were in there, throwing back a few beers pre-gaming on Friday, and paid the bill, didn't even blink. We told him we want to treat you to some beers. Didn't even blink at the bill. But then the next day on Saturday, it was 2 or 3 of us in there with my buddy Joe that showed up. And Mesa Mezcal, what I'm trying to, the short version is don't double tip, because they're gonna include the tip on 2 people and call that a large party. So
Gotcha.
So just watch your receipts, because I never do that. But like we tipped on top of a 20%, and we were like, man, we just lost a bunch of our budget on Friday before the show opened. So check your receipts about, is gratuity included on 2 people or 3 people? Yeah. So that's a little word to the wise. That's my only knock I will say on Mesa Mezcal is don't double tip. Like just watch that.
Nice.
If not, we'll just go over to we'll go to the hotel that the bar that we were at last year. I mean, yeah, they were really cool. So
nice. Sam, where you going?
I was just going to say, if you guys get a chance to stay at the host hotel, you get all kinds of cool access to celebrities. I mean, we rode the elevator with Robert England,
Tom
Melissa
Savini,
Rose, Tom Savini, Mark Duplass. Just everybody, all the big stars. John Carpenter,
yeah.
Got to rub elbows with that guy.
Nice.
That's a good call. Yeah. So we'll have to do that one year. It's just because I was trying to. I asked Chris to kind of hold the hotel because we might get it, and I was like, it was a little bit out of our price range at that point. So
but it's tough. But two, like if anybody needs to run something up temporarily, like we're at the Westin, so happy to hand you the key and you can go stash some stuff so you don't have to run back to your car. Or just know that's an option if you get weighted down. But also we will be giving everybody a Laserwag on this call, and hopefully other people, but Laserwag and swag bag. So some of your stuff in there, stickers, koozies, whatever ridiculous stuff.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, but yeah, know that if you guys need to run up to the room, we'll just hand you the key and go place your stuff. And when you're ready to go, like it's an option if you need it. But
appreciate that. Josh,
I was going to say.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, Larry.
No, I was speaking of the swag. Yeah, same thing. I was going to just show like, yeah, man, you guys are getting. I just got these in, so.
Larry's been in the lab cooking up some goodies.
And then Brendan, for your battle vest, I got a nice little pin.
Oh, nice!
Dope. All right.
Yeah, Brendan's vest is epic too.
Yep.
And then Chris, did you? Oh, go ahead, Spring.
So I was just gonna say we're going through like what we're excited about for this.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if I can make it, well, so the wife and I, our number one is Warwick Davis, because he was supposed to be there 2 years ago, and unfortunately his wife passed away, so he had to cancel. Of course we understood that. So when he was announced, we love Willow. Our dog is named after Willow. It's Kai is the name of our pit boxer. But we love that movie. And then obviously Wicket, the Ewok, like, I mean, it's epic. And And then a little gem, Life's Too Short is one of the funniest shows that's ever been made. So Warwick Davis is just the man. I saw a video last week. He was in his hometown or whatever, over in the UK, and he was like riding a hoverboard with his kids and stuff. And I was like, man, Warwick is the coolest guy. So we can't wait to meet him. He's like number one. I'm actually really stoked for Lee Winnell. I'm a huge fan of him just as like a whole. Like he's an excellent writer. He's funny. He's a decent actor. Obviously he helped create Saw and then starred in it as well,
Mhm.
the first one. But and then I loved his Invisible Man, and Upgrade was a really dope movie. Like I recommend that movie to people all the time. So I'm excited. I even liked Insidious 3. I thought he did some cool stuff with that. So um yeah, I'm excited to meet him. He's fairly inexpensive, and then obviously the Halloween 3 people. I got to add Tommy Lee Wallace to my Halloween cast poster since he invented the mask and all. So gotta add that. And then maybe if his line I heard his lines are really crazy and he's getting old now, but Tobin Bell is up there just
Yeah.
because I don't know how much longer he's gonna do these cons. So
Yeah.
he's I'm trying I was going through the list again and I was like, well, if I can meet anybody, I should probably meet like the older
Mhm.
people just because I don't know. Or if they're more rare, like Warwick doesn't do a ton of cons these days. Lee Winnell had just started doing cons like last year. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I'd say Lee Winnell and Warwick Davis are like my top two for sure.
Nice. I
And
would say
Chris, did
mine.
you
Oh, yeah,
Chris
go ahead.
on that mask, the
Yes, sir.
mask that you're gonna have Rohan sign? Did you say you already met Mike Nelson, the director?
No, not the director, the special effects, Christopher Nelson, who
Oh,
molded
okay.
all the
Well,
18 masks, and
Well,
he
hey,
did
if
this.
you want us to send your mask to we just interviewed Mike P. Nelson, the director.
Yeah,
It's gonna come out soon, but he's a friend of ours now. And he said I told him Rohan and Ruby were gonna be there. And he
yeah,
said if you get their signatures on whatever Silent Night, Deadly Night or whatever, or Halloween or whatever, you can send it out. So
yeah.
pretty cool.
I will leave this with you if you could do that, and then I'll let me know like how to compensate or whatever. But
Yeah, no,
you know,
he's super awesome, but we can't wait for that creators conversation. That'll be out in a
yes.
couple months, but we yeah, we
Have y'all
had an
filmed that one
awesome
yet?
Y'all
we
filmed it?
filmed it a couple months
Oh,
ago.
exciting!
But well, really cool. I'll just tell it now cuz it was really surreal, but so he did the Jason Universe short film that came out a couple years ago for Angry Orchard, and he he also did the remake of like Wrong Turn, and he also did obviously the new Silent Night, Deadly Night, which I really enjoyed. But he didn't know there was a Funko Pop of his Jason for Hot Topic for Scare Fair. They'd released a Jason Universe pop, and I had bought two of them when they came out, and so we were recording the episode, and I put my pop out and I like showed him, and he was like, he had never seen it. He didn't know they even made that. So he's like, whoa, that's so cool. So I was like, well, I have an extra one. So he has his Jason Universe pop, and it's from me. And then Larry sent me the Jason Universe Thrill Joy, and he didn't see that either. So I sent him the one that Larry sent me. I said, so Mike P. Nelson has the Thrill Joy figure and the Funko Pop of his Jason. And now there's like 3 new Funko Pops of his that are coming out soon. So, but yeah, he's a friend of Movies That Make You Now. So really nice guy. We had a great conversation with him, just about filmmaking in general, and we really enjoyed Silent Night, Deadly Night. But that'll be out soon. We have Michael Levy, the director producer. He's our next one. Um,
And
and
then Mike
then
P will be next.
Mike
Yeah.
P will be after that one.
We're hoping to get Natasha, but
Yeah,
she's got to run it through Neon.
I reached out last week to Natasha Breyer, who's one of like the top female cinematographers in the business, and she has a movie coming out this Friday called I Love Boosters. It's the new Boots Riley movie, and she also did the cinematography for Neon Demon, the Nicholas Winding Refn movie. And I reached out to her and she messaged me back and she's like, "Yeah, I would love to be on." So we're trying to schedule her for like possibly tomorrow, tomorrow night.
Hopefully.
But she said we had to tag her on the email because she has to send it through She works for Neon Pictures. So we're waiting to hear her response back, but we're trying to get it recorded and put out Friday because I Love Boosters comes out Friday and she did the cinematography for that. So she could possibly be our next one because it could come out Friday if we get it scheduled. But if not, Michael Levy will be our next one. And then Mike P. Nelson after that. Oh, and then a real quick fun story about Mike Levy. We were interviewing him, and this was the night the fan screening of Scream 7 came out. So the Scary Movie 6 trailer premiered at that. And Mike Levy is in Scary Movie 6. He has a cameo in the because he produces the Terrifier movies. He has a cameo in the Terrifier spoof scene, and we asked him in the interview like 2 hours before the fan screening of Scream 7. We said, "Hey, do you know if you're going to be in the trailer or not?" And he's like, "I have no idea." He's like, "I don't think so, but whatever." So then I went with Spooky Okie Matt to the Scream 7 screening, and the Scary Movie 6 trailer came on like 2 hours after we just interviewed Mike Levy about it. And sure enough, he was in the trailer behind Anna Faris in line waiting to meet Santa Art.
Santa Art.
So I messaged him after the screening. I was like, "Bro, we saw the trailer. You're in it. It's pretty cool." So it was just really surreal. Like we talked about it, and then like 2 hours later, I saw the trailer and he was on the trailer. And we
crazy.
can't wait to add that into the interview, which is cool. So it was just good timing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, cool. We got this other question from two boys and their scary pops. Let's take a look at this one real quick. To the panel, appreciate you all. And question is, if you could be in any horror movie, reliving your favorite scene from that movie, but you get to be the actor in the film, what are you choosing? All right, go ahead, Chris.
I answered it in the chat already, so spoiler alert. But
Sure.
I got to do Ash Williams from Evil Dead 2 because it's just so ridiculous. Like it's funny, then it's scary, and you can really see like not just Bruce's influence of the Three Stooges, but Sam's influence and the whole team. Like it's so ridiculous when the deer head is laughing and the dishes are laughing and he's bouncing up and down. Like it's so fun. I mean, because that movie, it gets really scary and really creepy and really funny. Like to me, Sam Raimi can thread that needle. You know, like some people, it'll try to get funny and it's just not. It doesn't work. But Sam Raimi is the maestro of that comedy and horror and jump scare and just. I don't know. It's the full package. It's just a fun ride of a movie. So I would specifically want to be Ash from Evil Dead 2, just because it looks like a blast.
Nice.
Who's next?
I can think of a fun one that I would do. It would probably be the blood rave scene from Blade. I think that would be a very fun scene. Like every time I watch that movie, that just gets me so ready for the rest of the movie. And I just think that would just be a fun production. There's actually a cool little group out in DFW that does like Blade themed blood raves every now and then. I haven't checked it out just yet, but one of these days I hope to actually just check it out to just have that cool little experience. And
We should see if they're doing one for Frightmare because Stephen Dwarf's going to be there. So
Dude,
that would be dope. Exactly.
Might as well just have that scene and then just recreate the ending to Blade. That'd be pretty badass.
That needs to be a theme for one of the after parties, Brendan. You know,
it should.
Like, blood rage. Like that's an easy one. That's a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
And have Wesley Snipes show up. That'd be
yes.
Yeah.
What a gangster
That
would be epic.
Yeah.
I feel like if anybody could do it, it'd be Lloyd though.
Yeah.
I feel like he gets some obscure, like people you would never guess would come to conventions and stuff.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Kevin Bacon in Friday the 13th keeps coming to
Ooh.
mind for me, just because that
Great
kill
effect.
is so
Yeah.
epic.
Great effect scene.
Yeah, so that's
And right after if he scores with a woman, so I mean,
Right?
at least he's dying happy, right?
Exactly.
God, doing
Dying
what you
happy.
love.
win-win.
Worst ways to
Yeah,
go.
win-win.
Or who you love. Sorry.
That may or may not be why it's stuck in my brain. I don't know. But, I think it was the special effects, like Josh said. That's what it was.
And then you could donate your feet to someone who can't dance. So then their feet would be loose. So
They would be
That's a
loose.
Tom
Yes,
Savini
thank you.
shout-out. That's a Tom Savini kill for sure. That's
Yeah.
that's a great one.
Yeah.
Josh or Sam?
Sam, you got one? I'm still thinking.
I would say Jack Nicholson, Jack Torrance, or
Yeah.
that's right?
Yeah.
But just because of the range from normal dude to freaking crazy psycho, it's just like you get to do the whole thing. It's just not a one shot.
Yeah.
It's
Huge range.
yeah.
That's great.
That's still one of my favorite scenes of all time. Is just that honey, darling, light of my life.
Yeah.
Man,
So good.
It's so good.
just bash them right the F in. I'm like, man, you just see how he just like slowly but surely, it's like inching up and up into like madness, and it's just so
I know-
good, man.
I know y'all have seen those scenes of it's like him getting hyped up before
Oh
like the
man,
axe
I
scene.
love watching
That
that.
just gives me
Mhm.
chills, man. I mean the method,
Yeah, he trained with firefighters to like learn how to hold the
'Cause he's-
axe and like
he's holding it right.
beat the
yeah.
hell out of a door. Yeah, and you can see it in the warm up, which is cool. But yeah, The
warm-up,
Shining.
Yes, exactly.
I'll
I've always heard
behind the
that,
scenes on.
like Shelley Duvall, like she never recovered from filming that movie.
No.
It's like, I mean, this guy's acting was so good that she never recovered from that.
Whoa. And
Well,
a
it
lot
was
of that
also
was Stanley Kubrick. Yeah, he
Yeah.
put her through like
90 takes of everything.
well, they filmed for a really long time too, like in a secluded, in London on the soundstage and stuff. But I mean, it was hot. It was like, I mean, that was fake snow, but like it was a sauna in there, especially for like the hedge maze scene. But yeah, Kubrick there's behind the scenes stuff you can watch where Kubrick's just like got a megaphone or a microphone and he's just like breaking her down slowly, just like
He's like-
belittling her almost, like telling her
Yeah.
like she's not delivering the lines good because he wanted her to give a good performance. So
And in that
I
act
love
scene,
Kubrick,
people
but yeah, it's
forget
crazy.
that she was actually hospitalized. She actually swallowed a wood splinter that went
Oh,
down her
man.
throat.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
yeah.
So yeah, like she really went through it.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, I mean, I do love Kubrick. Like he got me into a lot of films at like my teenage stage. Like I started watching, The Shining blew my mind the first time I watched it with my dad. I was probably too young to watch it, but I was like, oh my god, I don't even know what I just watched, but this was so odd. I still to this day, he never before he died, he never explained how he did that over the maze shot that goes right into. He never explained to this day the full thing. He said there was like a crane camera, and but he made it look so flawless, like that it just took you into another realm. But
My
yeah,
first
Jack in that movie.
Yeah, I think for me, like Stanley Kubrick's a great director, and I think, but also what makes his movies so amazing is the editing.
Right.
Because you take 2001: A Space Odyssey. I saw it in IMAX when it was in its like 20th. It was in some anniversary. It was in IMAX again, and I was watching it. I kept waiting to see the age of the special effects because it's like 70s, right? Like you're gonna see it, but every single time that you think that it's gonna get to that point where the illusion is gone, it cuts right before it. It's like every single decision in the editing room was so perfect. And I think that's the same thing for that scene. If he used some sort of helicopter and then edited that against a crane, and then I mean, he probably had some sort of like multiple faceted editing shot, and he didn't want to give away his secret because it was so many, because it would take away the magic of the scene,
Well,
the
and
magic of his
he was a
movie.
photographer at heart, so like he
Mhm.
he knew all the ins and outs scientifically
Mhm.
of like how cameras operate, how they work, and that's what made him such a good filmmaker. Because like but it also was tough. I mean, you ask most of the actors that have been in his films, like
Mhm.
Vincent D'Onofrio, Matthew Modine, um, I mean, they've been interviewed plenty of times, and they said they would never trade it for anything because they got to be in a Kubrick film. But like it's very like
Yeah.
almost you have to be exactly on, and,
It's
the
yeah.
method that he does to get you there, which is what he did to Shelley, and that she lived a long time after that movie, but she was pretty rough towards the end of her life. But yeah, it's crazy. But
I
yeah,
mean,
Jack
look
is so good in that movie though.
what Kubrick did with the moon landing.
That's right. I know my
Well done.
first
Genius.
experience with the Shining. I can't tell you what movie we were at, but I was however old I was in 1980, which was like 7, 8, something like this. I was old enough for my parents, which probably wasn't good, or my mom was like, "Yeah, you can go to the bathroom by yourself." We're in the middle of whatever movie we were watching, and I went to the restroom, and I came back as kids do, not paying attention to what theater, and it was probably ill marked. So I just walked into the next theater that I thought was it, walk around the corner, and it's the old, like, the recessed seating where kind of like shotgun theaters. And I look up at the screen and it's Danny riding the big wheel, and I'm like, cool. I was like, I was like, I like big wheels. I got one at home. And I'm
Right.
watching it, and he turns the corner to the twins, and I was like, wrong movie.
Yeah.
Like I said, it scared me so much I can't even tell you what movie I was actually
Yeah.
at. But I saw
Well, and
that carpet and the girls, and scarred for life. Horror fan for life. Either way.
Right.
the
Exactly.
the twins, when I met them in Denver years ago, I had talked to them prior to that on Facebook, because like Facebook was really the only media thing that was out at the time, and I had messaged them, and they live in London, and they're like interior decorators now, and Shining was like the only thing they ever did for like Hollywood wise, and then they kind of left the business. But they said at the Q&A when we saw The Shining in 70 millimeter at Alamo, they said they didn't see the film because they were too young, so they premiered it in the UK, and they were not old enough to go to the premiere. So like they didn't see the movie till they were like in college, 7 years later. And they said at that point, at that Q&A I was at, they said they'd only seen the movie, you know, 2 times to total, like ever. And like they're, so iconic for this movie, but they're really short too. They're just the nicest people, but yeah, that blew my mind. I was like, "Oh my, you've only seen it twice? Like, what do you mean? Like, you're the twins. Like, what are you talking about?" But yeah, they weren't allowed to watch it at a young age, and then they watched it in college, and they were like, "Oh, okay." And then they watched it later on. Shout
Yep.
out. That's my Uncle Jerry. Shout out to my Uncle Jerry.
Shout out, Jerry.
Hey.
Very
But yeah,
I
nice.
do want to mention
Shining's
this is
awesome.
off, like, way left turn sprang, but
Sure.
I was listening. I was reading. We've talked about, like, oh, what are we going to talk about? And you had thrown out one of your good topics was like, what else? Like, not that we're going to run out of stuff to do at the horror convention, but like, what's nearby? And I
Mhm.
just got to give a shout out again. This is not sponsored, but Drizzle frozen cheesecake on a stick. Don't knock it
Ooh,
until you try it.
nice.
It's
Man,
right
wow.
past. It's somewhere between Gloria's and all the other places, but don't think. Like I said, give it a shot. Frozen cheesecake on a stick. It's a whole thing.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
not
they have-
food.
pretty good right
Did
You
you
got to
else
split
have
it with
anything
somebody. One
nearby?
is not
Yeah.
not good for one person.
Well,
Yeah,
I
most
mean,
of the restaurants nearby are pretty. I mean, some of them are way overpriced, but like they're all nice atmospheres and stuff. I will say at night though, I think it was the first year I went. I met up late at night after the con with a couple buddies that came out from Colorado, and we went next door to I don't know what, not the Thirsty Lion, but the what
Is
is
it the
it?
very
It's
first
not.
one? Like
It's like I don't know whatever the bar. Yeah, it has like
Bar
open
Louie?
like
It's like
Bar
Bar
Louie?
Louie.
oh Bar Louie, yeah Bar Louie.
Yeah.
So Bar Louie, like they had a DJ in there or something, but he was way too loud. Like there weren't that many
Yeah.
people in there to
Mm.
begin with, and we were
That's
at the
probably
bar
why.
trying to talk to each other, and we were like screaming at each other, and then we still had like one more day of the con, and I was like, I'm gonna lose my voice. Like, let's go somewhere else because I can't even hear you guys. I can't even hear what you guys are saying. So maybe they fixed that, but Thirsty Lion's good. We usually go there in the morning before, like we usually go in there and get like brunch or whatever, and then go over.
We're gonna do Sam and I. We really like Gloria's too. It's like Latin, like you
Okay.
can get Tex-Mex, but you can get Colombian too, like real South
Nice.
American, like plantains.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out.
Order
this
for
year.
us or for me.
Yeah,
that
the
year.
waiter was like, "Let me order," and then the drinks, if you partake, are way top
Nice.
Our margaritas are the business.
facts. Brendan knows.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Gloria's, if you're like Mezza Mezcal is nice for the convenience, but like don't go there necessarily for like the food. Like get food, like we snack. Yeah, it's like yeah. So we recommend Gloria's if you're craving like a good Tex-Mex or Colombian type. And
Nice.
margaritas. Really just
Nice.
margaritas.
Yeah.
And what's the pizza place there?
Oh, and then
Grimaldi's.
Grimaldi's. Oh, yeah.
Mm.
They close at 4 to stoke the ovens, which is kind of cool, but don't get hungry at 4 o'clock for pizza. You get mad.
Good call. Yeah.
Just get hungry at 4 o'clock because it's going to be even better at 7.
The Dawn, I think, or that had the meatballs on it. Holy cow. So,
No,
anyway,
Larry
that's my
goes
food
to you go to that barbecue place, right?
Yeah, Hard Eight. It's not
Hard
it's
Eight.
not too close by there. So like on usually Saturdays, it's one of those things where me and my buddy, I think I've told you guys it's like a short day for us. So like by 3 o'clock we cut out from watching panels and stuff. So we just go we go there, eat, and then we come back and we could just hang out at the hotel. Like I said, last year was like we ended up just like chilling for a bit, went down to the bar, started hanging out with whoever was at the bar, and then like ended up closing it down. We met a couple of volunteers that were there, and yeah, just a lot of stuff. It was
Nice.
great. The art, like I said, some of the artists, some of the legit artists, like the one that did the gig poster, Timothy Petitas and Gary
yeah.
Poulin, who did that blob poster, Brendan.
Yeah.
Like they were all staying at that hotel, so we all just were hanging out, like drinking and just talking, hanging out, man. It was really cool.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I was gonna say I have to share one comment that came up because I thought this was pretty funny in regards to Eric's Two Boys and the Scary Pops question. My buddy Jason Jinja Ninja says, in the same vein, David Gale and Reanimator. If you know, you know.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to be right there with Barbara right there,
Yeah, exactly. For me, I have mine's a toss up. Like, there's two that I would probably like to relive. One would be the first reveal of the creature from the Black Lagoon, and then the other one would be the spider head from The Thing.
Oh, nice.
When you
Yeah,
first
yeah,
see
you're
it,
kidding me.
just seeing that, like, I wish I could be like right there and like just the feeling of just seeing that for the first time,
Yeah. That's
I
great.
just saw a clip. I don't know if it's from that Thing expanded documentary, but they were with the Spiderhead scene. They were saying, I forget. Richard Mauser. I got to meet him at that when they had the Thing reunion a couple years ago. But he apparently told John he said, let him say the line, like you gotta be effing kidding me. He's like, let him say it at this moment because John wanted him to wait, and he's like, no, it's not time for him to say it. And Richard Mauser's like, no, I promise you, we'll have him say it right at this particular moment because it'll be so much funnier. And then of course John's like, okay, fine, and they did it. And then like they did early screenings, and the crowd just erupted in laughter because it was perfect time.
That's great.
Shout out to Richard Mauser for letting him say that line a little bit sooner.
Yeah, absolutely.
God,
We've
I
got a
love that
question
movie.
here from Acres of Movies. Stacy says,
Yeah,
"What would you
Stacy.
have Romero signed first if he was going to be a Texas Frightmare? What would he sign first?"
Well, I think is Larry the only one who actually got to meet Romero? Brendan, did you ever meet Romero?
Never got a chance to meet him.
No. Yeah, me neither.
I wore his sunglasses one time.
Sam and I got to wear his
Oh, okay.
sunglasses.
You guys got some. Okay, cool.
No, just wear his sunglasses. We didn't get to meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Days of the Dead. Russ, the people, the surviving members of Night of the Living Dead were there, and even Russ, he offered me, "Oh, do you want to try them on?" I was like, "No, I couldn't. I just, for me, I was just like, I don't want to. I don't want my big head to mess them up, or
I wanna break 'em.
I was just like, I just want to look. I just want to look at him, and
That's what I said. I said, while we didn't look as cool as George Romero on the set of Night of the Living Dead, we felt as cool as George Romero. Hell, Russ wanted to leave a voicemail for Sam's wife, and he was like, "Wait, hey, whoa!"
wow.
Yeah, he changed the line in the movie up. He said, "They're coming to get you, Amy."
Yeah,
and then he
Nice.
wanted to call her.
yeah, he wanted to call her. He did do the voice. He did the voice, which was cool. But then he goes, "Can I give her a call?" He's like, "I don't
He's
know."
like, "No, man, that's going too far, bro."
Come on,
I mean, you're
Russ.
awesome, but come on.
Hey,
Well, if I
mean,
did meet George, one thing that I do have, and this was a recent gift, shout out to our guy that's part of the GBG, Jeff. He went to the last Living Dead weekend, which is held at the mall from Dawn of the Dead. And anyone who has been to that mall knows that they have a very prominent bust of George A. Romero's that is something that fans love to take pictures next to. And at that last convention, they had a limited edition replica of the bust at the mall.
Oh, that is
And
so
he
cool.
he knew that I was
Cool.
going to want to get one of these, but I wasn't able to attend. And he surprised me with one of these in my PO box, and I would definitely get one of these signed. I hope to actually. Well, I will be at the. I'm thinking this is going to be the last
yeah, it's the
weekend
last one.
next month. So I already have tickets for the screening for Dawn of the Dead with the cast members being in tow, and also I will
Nice.
be the last group that will actually have the behind the scenes tour of the mall. So I'll actually get to
Wow.
video all of the, all the spots from the movie that we'll go do. So definitely stay tuned for that, guys, if you want to check out, all a view of that.
And who got that for you, Brendan?
That was Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jeff.
yeah,
Yeah,
JD 636.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Right,
awesome, man.
I'll show you my my Romero wall real quick.
Oh,
Larry's got a
Nice.
wall.
That's
That's how
amazing.
the
sweet
man.
that is.
Too cool.
So that print right there, that Day of the Dead one, is signed by Romero and Bub. Howard. I also have that memorial one that Gary Pullen did of just his sunglasses or his glasses over the horizon from Dawn of the Dead. What's not up there is the stuff that I had him sign was just some mini movie posters of Dawn and Night of the Living Dead.
That's awesome.
That was like, those are like my prized possessions because it's like I got all the remaining living cast of Night of the Living Dead to sign it, and from Dawn of the Dead, I got basically everybody. Ken Foray, Galen Ross. I mean, Tom Savini, Dario Argento. I mean, Flyboy, Roger. I mean, basically everybody. I got everybody to
Yeah.
sign it. So it's like now
That's
that's
amazing.
for me that one's complete, and that's probably like that was it. The last person I was missing was Ken Foray.
Yeah,
Wow.
Ken's the man. That dude is.
Yeah.
anytime I see him, I'm always like, I remember the first time I met him was at that Mile High Horror that they used to do at Alamo Draft House in Littleton, Colorado, and real tiny. I mean, they'd have 6, 7 celebrities, whatever. Um, I think Tom. I think one year Tom was there, but Tom Savini was there, but he was like only there one day. I know Linda Blair was there for like the first one. I think Corey Feldman was. I didn't go to it, but like the very first one they did, I think it was in like 2012 or something. He was the first guest they ever had. It was like Corey Feldman and Linda Blair. And then they started getting like Kane Hodder and all the bigger ones. But yeah, Ken. The first time I went, it was Ken Foray, Doug Bradley, Meg Foster. Roddy Piper was there, but he wasn't. He was only there for the final day, and I only went the first day, so I didn't get. They did a They Live screening, and they had Meg Foster and Roddy did like a photo op with my buddy. Got to meet Roddy because he went all 3 days, but I was only able to go to the first one. But yeah, Ken was there, and I always talk to him about Keenan and Kel because like he was the dad on Keenan and Kel, and he's like, man, nobody talks to me about Keenan and Kel. He's like, you're the only one that ever talks to me about that. I'm like, you were like my TV dad. And he's like, okay, well, but he's always like super chill. We talk for hour and a half. And then he was here in OKC. This was like 3 years ago. And we had a small convention, and he saw my son and I walking around, and he was like, hey, come sit down next to me, chill out for a bit or whatever. And we went over there, and he has these Dawn of the Dead posters that his like cousin makes or one of his relatives makes this poster of his character from Dawn of the Dead, and it's like kind of comic booky looking or whatever, and he sells them for like $60. He gave my son one for free, and he signed it to my son, and he said, to Lennon, I always have your back, Ken Foray, and he gave him a free Dawn of the Dead 8x10. Mark Patton was there. He gave my son a free 8x10 with Freddy coming out of his chest. It was a really cool one. But yeah, Ken was like, hey, you think your son would let me hold them? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And so he like took a picture with my son, posted a really nice message on Instagram, and like Blumhouse Films liked it, and Bill Moseley liked it, and all these cool people. And so like my son's more famous than I'll ever be, but it actually warms my heart more than like meeting these people, because I'm like, oh, of course, I put my kiddo first. But even John Carpenter, like when we got his autograph, like, and the photo op, the first thing he asked was like, oh, is this your son? And like, because he's in a band with his son, and I think he takes family really serious deep down, so that always warms my heart.
And it puts a lot of things in perspective, because a lot of these celebrities are, taking time away from their family. A lot of these celebs are parents and stuff. So, when they see these kids at these horror cons, they can't help themselves but to just want to, just have fun with them. And because they know that sometimes, the kids may not be as enthused for the horror cons as the parents sometimes, but when they see the kids that are really into it and they have fun with it, that it just makes their day a whole lot better.
That's how. Oh, go ahead, Chris. Sorry,
I was just gonna say, and it's just because you were bringing up kids and horror and getting them into it, and trying to tie it into Brendan's visit when he didn't meet Robert Englund at the Frightmare. I was there too, Brendan. We obviously didn't know each other at the time, but I was there with my daughter, and I had a photo op secured, so I was good. But I had my Freddy glove, and I sat in that line, Brendan, with my daughter, who was probably 10 at the time, for 6.5 hours, and we maybe moved 4 feet, maybe 4 feet. But anyway, I have this.
Nice.
So
I love that.
So we had a glove.
That's so cool,
and
man.
Yeah, we had a glove, and he had a glove, and he said he said, okay, he does something different for every person that comes in. He's got another idea. And he said, okay, we're going to be, arm wrestling and you're the referee and scream on 3 or whatever, so that was so cool. And, again, my daughter, she could care less. She works at a movie theater, which is pretty cool because that was one of my first jobs in college. And all the times I sit here and I talk to her about movies and horror movies, and I don't even think she's listening. But then 2 times she's come home and she's like, I asked the manager if I could have the send help poster, and he said, yeah, nobody wants that. And then she came home with an obsession poster too, and they're like
Nice.
Wow.
theatrical one sheets, like they're printed on both sides. So I want to get a lighted or a lit
Yeah.
movie poster frame for these, but they're like $200. So, but yeah, just that thing about that connection. And I love too that Brendan was talking about how his son is so into the behind the scenes and how it was made, because that's how what got me on at an early age. And I know I was scaring my mom to death with all the movies I wanted to see, but I was like, somebody's getting paid to scare people, somebody's getting paid to make things that are, I knew it was make believe, and I would still get scared, but I just loved all that practical effects. And I don't know, I just think that's cool to, if you can get your kid to connect with you on any aspect of that, that's really cool.
When I'm hoping because my kid, he's autistic, but like from an early age, we go to Spirit Halloween, like he loves the animatronics. He thinks it's so funny. And most kids are scared of that stuff, but he is my kid, so I love it. But he even watches like YouTube videos of like animators like making the cartoons that he watches, like the movies that he watches, and I part of me is like, oh, I think he wants to maybe get into that, like how things are made and how. So I'm hoping as he grows, he just turned 6 on Sunday, but I think as he grows up, hopefully he'll get into more of the stuff that I like the practical makeup effects and stuff. So I think it's fun. It's cool.
Yeah, it's the other side of my son Jacob. He loves horror movies, and so he's been wanting to watch stuff for a long time, and we held him off for a while. But in the last few years, we started introducing him to movies like that, and Scream was his first rated R horror movie I took him to 2 years ago, and then I think that later last year or 2 years ago, I think we watched The Shining with him for the first time because he loves Stephen King, and so just trying to, just to have that connection, like you guys have all said, like having that connection with your kid, loving the things that you love. That's one of the reasons why when I started this podcast, it was with the kids. It was like, when we love something, we want to share that thing we love with the people we love, and to have those conversations with the boys for those 2 years was a lot of fun. And then they just got tired of watching movies, and so I didn't want to do that to them. I wanted them to still enjoy watching movies after we got done, and so. But yeah, it's been a fun journey with that, and looking forward to like just continuing for sure.
So cool to have those conversations with them, and talk them through it. You're like, this is a movie, like, yeah, it's scary, but all the production that goes into it. And again, like you said, to have that connection just teaches them to appreciate film in general, like they may love other genres more, but they're still going to love how was it made, or what else was this actor in, that can be a blessing and a curse. But when you recognize someone and you're like, what else were they in? I love that. I love when you start connecting the dots and see other movies, and then you find out the range of these actors. Like, oh, they're in a romantic comedy, but now they're in a horror movie, and they crushed both of them. That's a great actor. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
To piggyback off of what y'all were saying, it's just like a few years back, I started introducing my stepdaughter to Universal Monsters. So like I was, when it was in October, so I was showing her like the black and white ones, and she really Werewolf of London, she actually really gravitated towards. Like I look over while we were decorating, and she's just like just so into it. And I was like, hey, what do you think? She's like, oh, it's pretty cool. And whenever she says that, I'm kind of like, well, what's going on? And then she was like,
yeah.
Well, and then she's just like this and this and this person this, and she went through the whole like what was going on. I was like, wow, you're actually following. And then when Romulus was coming out, she was like, she saw the trailer for it, and she's like, oh, what's that? I want to see that. And I was like, well, there's other movies before that. And then so we saw Alien, so I got to show her Alien for the first time, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking over at her when the chest burster comes out. I'm just like, and then she's just like, just
Glued
in
to
it,
the screen.
And then as soon as it comes out, I'm like just looking at her, and I just see her eyes like widen,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What do you think? Scary?" And she's like, "Cool." And
Nice.
then and I was like, "So what do you think so far?" And then she was like, "Is that ship? Is it like a model?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she got so like, she was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And you know how big it is? And I was trying to explain to her like the size of it. He's like, "Yeah, that's an actual model. It's like this, and this." And she's like, "Oh, wow." And she ended up giving it an 8.5 out of 10. I was like, "Cool."
Dang.
Nice.
All right.
Pretty good.
So my son is always talking about coming on the podcast and schooling Chris and I on movie stuff.
We need
And,
Gus as a guest, please. I
Yeah.
want him to.
He has started like writing like multi-page essays on films that he watches, and then he'll write a whole thing about them and research them and stuff like
Dude,
that.
he's done like cool, like old school processes on t-shirts and artwork. And I think he learned it like from one of his art classes at school, but he made this killer Boris Karloff Frankenstein. Like, and he like had a printout and he like used bleach and left it out in the sun under a rock or something.
Oh, wow.
Like, and I mean, but
That's
the
awesome.
image, you can't recreate that. I mean, the creativity through his son is just awesome. And
Yeah,
his
he
daughter,
goes really deep.
his daughter as well. I don't want to pull this off the wall, but I will. Again, it's a commercial for. But look at this.
Oh my God, that's really cool.
That's amazing.
And she put it. I think Sam suggested it, but it's like just on an old stick, you know. And she
Yeah.
does a lot of cool.
That's so awesome.
But the stick
That
is
looks really
perfect for
good.
this. Isn't that neat? So,
Dang, yeah,
that's
that's
I wanna
super
get all
cool.
his kids on here to school us on, old man, you don't know nothing about horror.
That's great.
It'd just
Well,
be fun
that-
to talk to him about it.
Yeah,
I like that
that's what-
Spring has his kids on there sometimes. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what drew me to, like, when I first met Spring. I was a guest, more than a few times, mostly for like horror episodes and stuff, because a lot of the kids couldn't watch any or talk about any of that stuff. But when he told me about the podcast, I checked it out like immediately when I got home, and I was like, this is such an awesome idea. Like, he's sharing movies for the first time with his kids, and like, I think even the first episode I was on was a Scream episode, because we had just gone to Frightmare, and Jacob had seen Scream for the first time. And I said in the episode, if you go back and watch it, like, I'm like, it's so cool that you got to see that movie for the first time. Like, that's a thing I cherish with every movie that I fall in love with, is like that first time you watch a movie. It's just so magical, and then you have watched it 100 times since then. And there's some cool screenings mixed in there, but like that first time you watch it and it blows your mind,
Yeah.
that's a cool feeling. So like I love the whole concept. And then when they wanted to kind of take a break and Spring asked me to be full-time co-host, I immediately said yes. But like I love that the kids were involved the whole time up to this point. So. And we've had Zeke on. We've had Zeke on a few times recently. He was on our Mortal Kombat episode last week, which
Zeke
was really
that's
fun.
what I was gonna say. Is Zeke, y'all were explaining like the fatalities, and he was like, "Nope,
Yeah.
gross."
Nope, I'm done.
Yeah, he's like, nope, I'm
It was
done.
So
Yeah.
so funny. I love that natural reaction.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
Yeah.
here.
Well,
God.
it was cool because he ended up watching with Spring. He ended up watching Big Trouble in Little China, which is awesome because the Raiden is based heavily off of that movie. And so like we talked about that and stuff, and I always love talking about John Carpenter movies anyway. But yeah, it just was cool to hear a young mind's like take on watching that for the first time, especially being an older flick. But yeah, Zeke was funny. He's always fun when he comes on.
Yeah. We've got top 5 Illumination animation films coming up with him
coming up
for
All right.
for the new mega Minions vs Monsters movie that's coming out.
Yeah,
So
all kinds of
It's high
minions. Yeah.
stakes.
yeah, exactly. Cool stuff, guys. I got another question here. Vendors, who wants to share about the vendors? I mean, because there's a lot there. Anybody have any favorite things you'd like to do when you check out the vendors?
I think all four of these guys probably have, because they're always going around to all the vendors. So
Yeah, go for
I'll
it, Chris.
say I'm gonna leave one off that I know Sam will say because we kind of share the same brain. But Paul Bearer Press. I mean, if you want a good
great.
T-shirt or a
Yeah.
figure or a collectible. Fun fact: I went to high school with Craig Merritt. So Craig Merritt started Paul Bearer. He's got the long gray hair and he's been in a band for years and stuff. But it's just so cool that it's dude I knew in high school. Like he was like 4 years. Like I knew of him. Like my friend Joe was really good friends with him, but I just kind of knew of him. And I was like, man, that guy looks cool. He's like heavy metal back in high school, like that guy doesn't give a crap about anything. And now to run into him at these horror conventions and chop it up and their booth, like it commands attention, first of all. And if you have a favorite, especially a deep cut, like horror movie, like they don't just do the heavy hitters, they do the House by the Cemetery and the big zombie throw blanket, for your couch or whatever. But Paul Bearer is just such a bunch of cool guys. So I mean that's definitely a big one. I'll just say Paul Bearer Press and let Sam speak of who I think we know we're going to talk about next.
Rotten Applehead.
Yes.
That guy doesn't miss. I mean, his designs are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of work that goes into each and every piece that he makes. I mean, nothing's mass produced. It's all done by hand. It's wonderful stuff.
And when they don't have a booth there, they usually have some of their stuff at someone's booth, but I think they'll be there this year. And then Jackie Offline was the other.
Oh, and Jackie, yeah.
But we don't wear earrings, but our wives do. So
Yeah,
Jackie's awesome.
For mine, I would go just to piggyback off of what Sam and Chris said. Definitely big shout out to Paul Bearer Press. Those guys, Craig, Christian. Whenever I see them at a convention, I always like just shout them out and just show them some love. Great deals, great designs. Just can't get enough of recommending them to people. But just to stray away from what they said, I would go with puncture wound pins. Anyone that's seen my battle vest, there are a few pins from puncture wound pins that Felicia has put together from her company. Great designs. They're so bright and vibrant. Some of them are actually interactive, where you could move them, like my Jason Friday the 13th Part 6 one, where he's battering the girl against the tree. So that's one that I have. I have a limited edition The Last Drive-In one with Bob and Darcy. That is really cool that I love to show off. But she has very exclusive ones that she does for every show. She unveiled this special one that's in tribute to Frank Henenlotter. So it has Bilal from Basket Case, Frankenhooker, and of course Brain Damage as well, all together in a nice little, portrait together. That's pretty awesome. So I'm like, all right, I'm digging that. So everything's pretty creative. No matter what a favorite film of yours is, she will have something from the franchise, or even a few deep cuts that you're just like, wow, I've never seen anything related to this particular movie, so I'm going to have to grab this. If you go to a convention that she's at, definitely try to go on the first day, because her booth gets pretty busy and she will sell out of stuff.
Good to know. And with that, we've got Matt Spookyoki in the house, joining from the car.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
There he is.
I made it.
Made it, man.
Poor guy. He's been at a graduation all
Oh my
night.
god. Dude, sorry about the shitty lighting, but I'm in my car. We're fixing to go into Buffalo Wild Wings and eat.
You're good, brother. You're good. Thanks
Sounds
for
like you
being
earned it, man.
Apologies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Priorities.
gosh. Why does my last name have to end in W? Literally, he was second to the last row.
Yeah.
And the last person on that row, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna shoot myself. There's too many people here.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
graduations
Oh,
are
so what I
brutal.
miss?
Oh,
We've just been
just
talking
a
about
little bit.
Frightmare, man.
Yeah.
We're right now we're talking about vendors. Most of these gentlemen have like their favorite vendors they always go to, so they're just sharing
I
what
love
vendors.
Paul Bearer Press.
There
We
you
were
go.
just talking. Yeah, we were just talking about them.
Were you? Oh, I
Yeah.
love those guys, man. They've got so many awesome hats.
Nice. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
they got a bunch of awesome hats and a bunch of t-shirts and stuff. You can always find some good stuff there.
Yeah, shirts are crazy.
Yeah. So one of the questions we had earlier was, who are you excited about? I know you're not going to be able to make it this year, but what's some of the guests at this year's Frightmare that you're really excited that is going to be there?
All of the Halloween 3 guests were my main get. That's my favorite Halloween movie. So those were the guys I wanted to meet. And then I'm a big Ruby Modine fan, so I wanted to meet her.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I mean, I could meet, I could take it and leave it.
Sure.
But they've got it all, the lineup is killer. So
Yeah.
it comes down to more comes down to affordability than, anything else. Cause some of those guys are crazy, dude. I'm not rich.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
for sure.
some of them just price me out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, all the Halloween 3, when they announced the composer, I was like,
Oh, I know.
I
Yeah,
was like, because you can pay. I didn't realize that you could pay like $10 extra and he'll write music,
yeah. He'll write the music
On the
notes
poster
on
for
the.
you?
Yeah,
which would
awesome.
be, that I think that looks so cool on a Halloween 3 poster.
heck yeah.
So
That
that was
Halloween 3
those were the
poster
3 I
that-
was looking for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
Manfredini does the same thing. He puts the music when he does the signature.
yeah. Friday the 13th.
But he doesn't charge
does he
extra.
really?
He just
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I
That's
think that's
cool.
such a cool little thing that they do.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. Are any of you guys gonna go to the after party night with? He's playing music there, Alan Haworth.
Which night
Man,
is
I'm
that?
still awake.
It's Friday night
Friday.
at 9
Okay.
p.m.
I might have to
Yeah,
go
probably.
And
So
then-
disco
well,
nap.
They're also
nap.
they're also playing at 10 p.m. I think upstairs they're gonna play Tony Todd's last movie, which Mike Levy, who we were just talking
Yeah.
about, he produced it. It's called Pitchfork Retreat. But they're gonna premiere that at Frightmare upstairs at 10. So there's the party, the Halloween 3 party, and Alan's playing music for 45 minutes from John Carpenter movies.
Like a 2.5 hour wait.
And then there's the movie's
Are we
like
not-
an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah. I'm surprised Mike Levy's not going to be there.
Jump off
Right.
Okay.
because evidently my entire family's jumping back in because it's a 2-hour wait.
All
How
good.
much longer you guys gonna be
2-hour wait at Buffalo Wild Wings?
We'll be on for 2 more hours.
For 2 more hours?
We'll be here. Come on back.
Probably, yeah. Probably about a couple
All right,
20
man.
minutes or so. But thanks, Matt. Thanks for jumping in.
Okay, all right.
Good to see you,
All right,
Matt.
We'll
thanks,
see-
guys.
Take care, bro.
Bud.
Take it easy, man.
All right, good to see you guys.
Yeah.
See you, man.
too.
See you soon, bud.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, so poor Matt, he keeps going back and forth, but he's because he's like, we're going, and then he bought tickets already, but he's like,
Oh,
we're
man.
going, and then he's like, oh no, we got too much graduation stuff going, and then last week he's like, we're going again, and and then he texted me last night and he's like, what's your email? And I was like, here it is, and he's like, we're not going now. Yeah, he's like, we got too much stuff going on. I was like, I get it, bud.
Yep. For sure.
So but I don't let's see. Yeah, anyway, I feel bad for him. Poor guy.
Larry, do you want to share some vendors? You got another vendor?
Yeah, I mean, to go, I guess on the more of the figure side, I mean, this is going to be the last the last con, I think they said that, or their last time at Texas Frightmare is Elm Street Toys.
Oh wow, that's right.
I
This
was,
is their last hurrah. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
I always go to them. Actually, I go to them like everywhere when they're like down here. So like Texas Frightmare, Houston Horror, whenever they've come down, I always go and buy from them. Um, Before they haven't, I don't think they have their store anymore. They just have an online store. Nightmare Toys was cool
Mm-hmm.
before. They used to be a Frightmare staple, but the last 2 years they haven't done it. So there were another one. They would have like Christy Adams come down and stuff. And but yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
so beyond that, I mean, yeah, Paul Bear Press. I got some cool stuff from them like a while back, and I mean Arrow's always cool. I like going to theirs. I always find some. Like last year, I got the box set for Hellraiser, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much that's really it. I mostly look for like I'll look. I mean, I do look at Misfit toys as well, but
Yeah.
I feel like their prices are a little high. Uh, but yeah, beyond that, yeah, definitely this year is going to be Elm Street Toys for sure. Like I definitely want to go see them, and then I'm gonna try to in between at some point. I'm gonna try to go to their storefront at the Antique Mall in Dallas
Yeah.
to go visit there because I've not only their store, but I've seen like they have like other really cool vendors there. So I want to check that out. They have one that has like a bunch of movie posters. So I want to check that vendor out and stuff. But yeah, so
There's another one. I'm just looking at Sprang's shirt again, and it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre merch table. Like the guys that have the licensing for the merch, and you can get some really cool stuff there. And they usually have a special effects artist with them that's in Dallas, Ryan Strickland, and he makes the most, like the closest thing to what Bob Burns. He said he has the recipe. I didn't ask how he got it, but he
Wow.
has Bob Burns' recipe on how he made so many of those special effects. And Ryan's one we've been trying to get on our podcast, and we hope to at least chat him up there again that weekend. But yeah, I would say stop by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre merch table because it's all licensed. You know, it's approved by Vortex and Kim, and they're not gonna make you shut it down like what happened in Bastrop, which is such a heartbreaker. But they couldn't come to an agreement. You know, it's business, and the fans, like Sam said, the fans lose. You know, it's a lose. But yeah, check that out. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre merch, you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
And
they always have a cool few pieces of memorabilia from the actual movie set,
Yeah.
from the house and all that.
Yes.
and the cool thing is last year they actually had Ted Nicolau there. And that's how I got to
Yes,
meet
you
him.
don't see him that much. He's not
No.
doing them all the time.
No, so that's why when they announced him and like I never realized he did sound for Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
So for me, I was just like, I just know him as subspecies, you know. So like, I was just like, oh man, I'm going for sure. And I started chatting his ear off, and then he told me, oh, have you seen TerrorVision? And I was just like, sorry, I haven't. And then so later on, like I saw it because another content creator, JT Horror Discussion, he's like, hey man, you like subspecies? I'm gonna have Ted on the channel. Do you want to interview him with me? I was like, yes.
Nice.
So then for sure, like I was like, hey, guess what? I saw TerrorVision. I was like, oh, really? He just totally lit up. And I just started picking his brain about that and subspecies. So yeah, he was super cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I just wanted to piggyback on Arrow Video for Larry. If you wait till the last day when they're closing down, they make deals because they don't want to take everything back with them. I mean, they still have a lot that they have to take back. But a couple years ago, my buddy and I, we got like 6 Blu-rays of theirs for like $100 even, and they're normally like $30-40 a piece. So we got some good ones. But yeah, if you wait till the last day, they're like they'll make deals with you because they just don't want to take the less they have to take back, the better. But yeah, they had some cool stuff. So good little
awesome.
tidbit if you wait till the sun. I mean, go buy from them regardless, but
Yeah,
because it's one of my favorite physical media places. But
And then Full Moon.
oh
I've
yeah,
gotten,
Full
like,
Moon
some
as
cool,
well.
I've gotten some cool stuff from Full Moon's booth as well. I mean, those, and then you get to meet Charles Band. He's really cool,
Yeah.
or Charlie Band. So he's always
That's
been cool. Like every time I meet him.
That's cool.
I hear he's really cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's awesome. Like I've struck just random conversations with him, like in passing, where I've just been like, "Hey, how's it going, Mr. Band?" And he's like turned around, and next thing you know, we're talked for like 10 minutes about just like random stuff, and I'm just like, "All right, well, I guess I'll let you go. Like I don't want to take up too much more of your time," but
Yeah.
he's just like so giving with his time and with his fans, and you just feel like that dude's like passion for filmmaking. I mean, being that it's his family business, it's his family legacy. So, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has a
absolutely.
movie premiering at Frightmare Saturday night. What is it? Models versus Werewolves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that looks
Yeah,
so funny.
it premieres
Oh,
at
so great.
I think 10 o'clock Saturday night or 9 o'clock. One of the two.
And sometimes he
That's
brings
cool.
like a keg.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
I
I
heard
want to
about that.
piggyback. I wanted to piggyback on the merch, and then realized I didn't get to share my people I'm excited to see at Frightmare.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
but it works because it's a nice it's a nice one of those kind of transitions, like segues. So the only stuff I got the first year was some posters, and I got a Scream poster, but they also had an amazing Saw poster that was a Tokyo only, 27 by 40 poster, and I was like, man, I should have bought that thing. I didn't buy it. I'm so mad I didn't buy it. So I'm hoping to go in there and find that poster
Yeah.
at the table, because if I find that poster, then I will add 3
Get it
signatures
signed.
to my list for what I'm going to get at Frightmare this year. My main goal is to get all the Screamcast to sign my poster, and oh man, my mind's blanking. The voice of Ghostface.
Oh, Roger Jackson.
Roger Jackson. Thank you. I'm going to have him sign my pop that I had.
Nice.
Lee Wanna, the guy,
Yeah.
the stunt actor, signed it last year at Tulsa. So
He's gonna be there last minute too. He just made a post on
Oh, did
Instagram.
he?
He's
Nice.
got these new cell phones he's bringing to Frightmare.
Oh,
And
very cool.
he just made an Instagram post and he said, "Come to Frightmare and have all of us sign this." He has like a replica phone from like the first Scream movie. He's
Nice.
bringing those, so you can buy one of those and get them signed.
That's cool.
Yeah, Lee's the man.
Lee Waddell.
He
Yeah.
doesn't get enough credit. But yeah, he's like for our audience, he's the first physical
That's the
ghost
body.
face, like in the costume. So
Yeah.
he gets
So
the
that's-
famous Drew Barrymore kill. So he's like that's like his claim to
He's
fame.
the
but-
icon. Yeah, so that's kind of my goal is to get all of Scream, and then hopefully, if I find that poster, I'm going to do Tobin Bell, Lee Wanell, and I can't remember her name, but you mentioned her, Chris.
Dina.
I think the girl that wore the mask that covered her.
Oh,
Shawnee Smith.
Shawnee
yeah.
Smith. Thank you. I think she was there last year also, and I just wasn't in the Saw space. I was like, I got to focus on Scream. But then once I realized how awesome that poster was, I was like, all right, hopefully I can get it this year. So we'll see.
That's why I've lucked out this year, because last year they had Kevin Dillon. So I was like, if I was going to get either or, like I wanted to at least get Kevin Dillon, because by that point I was like, man, my money's getting a little tight. And so that's why when I saw her announced for this year, I'm like, oh, well, perfect. Like, I don't have to wait. I'll just have her sign it this year,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been budgeting for Frightmare for the last year. Ever since Tulsa, I was like, all right, Christmas, birthday, Father's Day.
You got to.
It's all
Yeah.
just gonna go to autographs, and I sold a laptop. I sold stuff. I'm like, I'm banking. I've got all my credit card rewards points. I'm like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the way to do it, man.
Smart. Doing it right.
Yeah. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Well, cool. I mean, I've got a couple other questions here, but anybody else have anything they want to share? I mean, we're kind of getting. I think I'm getting to the end of my my time here. But go ahead, Chris and Sam both have your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to plug one more content creator team, Phantasma House, and they're Dallas local. So these guys are awesome. It's a husband and wife duo from England. Brendan knows them for sure.
Martin and Anna.
Yeah, Martin and Anna, man, they're so much fun. That was my most favorite part of Sunday last year, was when I ran up on them, because just like Brendan, I found them searching for, like, I wanted more, Frightmare and more horror conventions, and I found Phantasma House, and they're a hoot. So I would definitely say go check them out. I just wanted to plug them, and maybe we can let them know about. I don't know if they're there all weekend or whatever. Like I said, I ran into them on a Sunday, but anybody in the chat, if you enjoy any of our stuff, please go check out Phantasma House because they're a lot of fun.
Nice.
And that's it. I'm out of stuff to talk about. No.
Never.
Sam,
you had something to share too?
I was just wondering when we're going to start the movie.
Yeah.
I got a really important part in the third act I want to talk about. No.
Yeah, I realized once we kind of were just talking, I was like, that I don't think we need to watch the movie. I think
we don't need to, and that's a good thing. I think that's a positive.
So. Yeah,
that's a good sign, guys. I mean, we're going to have some great conversations this weekend for sure.
Tapped into something.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, that was great. Because I was like, every time I kept thinking, oh, we got two. Okay, we could start it. Nope, just conversation just still flowing. I'm like, there's no need. So some other time.
I'm kind of thinking that like Chris and I always say, let's give the fans what they want. Maybe we should make this more often, like this group of folks. And
I think we need a debrief after Frightmare. Let's do a debrief.
I'm down. Honestly, like ever since we started dreaming this up, I thought it would be cool just to kind of have this, every couple months or once a quarter or something like that. We just jump on and just talk about what we've been doing, what movies we've seen, what cons we're going to, and just to build that community, and then everybody can kind of enjoy it. And then I think, we talked about it at one point, maybe there's an opportunity where we, next year we all pitch in and get one hotel room that we set up as a studio, and we can kind of do debriefs at Frightmare. And then maybe if we get if people like what we're doing with these types of things, then we can end up doing a side thing, like a little conference room or something, and we do a live stream with people, with fans or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. That's just kind of, who knows,
whatever it is, we pitch in on a table or whatever, whatever we got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is really cool. I think, this is the beginning of something really awesome. And, like I said, it's fun to meet you guys, and it's been fun hanging out with you guys, and looking forward to seeing in person for sure.
Yes.
So before
I also want to say,
oh yeah, go for it.
I just want to say a huge thank you and shout out to everybody in the chat that's asked the awesome questions and hung out with us and stuff like that. That's the other thing too. I mean, we've had some really, really, really cool questions and stuff. So I can't thank them enough.
Absolutely. Great stuff. Before we jump on, I do like to always make sure that we have a chance to promote anything that you have going on your channel. So, Larry, why don't you start? Kind of, if you have anything you can point people to, let's hear it.
For people watching in the future, hopefully you'll watch this, and whatever you missed, go back and rewatch this, because everybody here, contributed a lot of cool stuff. So if you're late to it, go back and rewatch it. Beyond that, I'm hoping, if I have the time and the bandwidth, I'm going to post a video of what I'm taking to get signed to Frightmare. So I usually do it every year, so I'm really, really, really hoping that I can get that out before I leave on Thursday.
That's a good idea, Larry, for a video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I try to do it every year. I think last year I did it live last year, and then I shared and then I kind of was showing like who's going, and I did like, I want to this and this, like I want to meet this person, and I just kind of was interacting with the chat and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
So I was just like, okay, well, I want to do a video, and then I do a post-con video as well. So I usually do like, what did I pick up? So it's like basically like a haul video, 2-parter haul video.
Yeah, that's awesome. Chris and Sam, I know you guys just dropped a podcast, so
yeah, we just kicked off our season 2. We kind of got 2 quick up back to back, so go listen to those. They're funny. I think they're funny. I don't know. But we also have a giveaway going on. I know you can't see it when I hold this up, but if you go to Instagram, because of this stream, thank you, chat. Thank you, anybody watching. Thank you, panel. We're 2 away from this NECA store exclusive poster Leatherface. I know y'all are sick of hearing the Willie Nelson song, so the only way to make that go away is we need 2 more subscribers, please.
Yes,
And then
get
you can
after it.
unsubscribe. No, but yeah, so we're giving away this really cool Leatherface that matches the poster. So you know he doesn't wear a blue shirt in the movie, but on the poster his shirt is blue. So this NECA figure, store exclusive, has the blue shirt. It has a super cool when you unbox it, it has a separate, like, you need to unbox this figure because it's got a display. Sam unboxed his, and it's got the I don't know if Pam's on it. Is she on it, or a version of Pam?
He's hanging on the hook. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Wow.
a Pam where you can display it, and she's, you know, writhing on the hook, and you can put your Leatherface. So 2 more subscribers, we're giving it away. Basically, like the post, share the story, tag us, tag 3 friends, you know, and maybe you'll win a Leatherface. And then what I'm more excited about is the next giveaway, which I don't want to say what it is, but we're doing giveaways until we hit 1,000. So, and we're doing something pretty big for 1,000. So we try to make the giveaways worth it. This is going to be one of them. I don't know when, but before 1,000, if you missed out on the Scream popcorn bucket, this one will be coming up before we hit 1,000. So if you want one of these, stay tuned.
That's awesome. Very cool. How about you, Brendan?
For me, after Frightmare, well, look out for the Frightmare video, which will be coming, of course. I always like try to put in a great overview of everything from the vendors, the panel, the after party, just hanging out with you fellas, a little bit of everything. So, if you have never been to a Texas Frightmare, check out the video, check out Laser Wagon's video, check out everyone's video and content that will be coming out from a Texas Frightmare, because we're going to all be covering different perspectives of the event. After Texas Frightmare, my next biggest thing, as I mentioned earlier, would be going to Living Dead weekend. So I can't wait to be there again. My first time going was fantastic, but I didn't get a chance to do the extras like go to the movie screening or do the mall tour. I will be doing those this time around. So I am so geeked about those. So stay tuned for content coming from that as well. And then other than that, just be on the lookout for more, live watch parties that will be coming down the pipeline eventually. Especially now that the summer is here, it'll be a bit easier. So I will be gearing back up for more of those.
Very nice. That's awesome. And well, movies that make you. I mean, we've got stuff dropping. You know, our podcast drops every Monday, and then we've got some interviews dropping. June 8th is when we've got our Mike Levy interview, and then we also have a couple of live watch-alongs we're going to do. We have a couple live watch-alongs we're going to do in June. And then also I wanted to plug, because Carpenter came up so much in this episode, that we're going to be doing a live double feature watch along of Escape from New York and Escape from LA, because they both have anniversaries this year. One's 40th and one's 25th, I think, or something like 35th, something like that. Anyway, it's going to be awesome. So we're doing that July 10th. So kind of keep an eye on that. We hang out and watch those movies. That'll be fun. And then, like I said, just every Monday we got the thing. Follow us on Instagram, and you can see all the content, everything that drops we got on there. So it's good stuff. And Matt, welcome back. We're closing down the party, but feel free to share kind of what you got going on in your channel. You've been doing a lot of story shares and stuff. So
I've been doing a lot of story shares. I'm working on I was cleaning out my office, and remember when we were talking, and my wife loves when boxes show up from Whatnot full of DVDs. Well, evidently one showed up that I never opened, that I just threw in a corner, and it's literally about this big. I mean, it's huge.
Nice.
So I'm going to open that up. And then I'm going to try and do some more out of the theater stuff, but I haven't been able to make it to any movies. So since I'm not going to Frightmare this weekend, I think I may go check out Obsession and something else. What else comes out this weekend? Something else.
I want to see Matt's out of theater reaction for Obsession. I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I know. Well, the Corporate Retreat, I think, is coming out this week.
For that one.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? That one looks good too.
Yeah, Corporate Retreat, I think, is this week.
That one looks good. But Other than
Yeah.
other than that, I don't know. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants with my channel.
Just living life.
I just
brother.
kind of throw stuff up there and see what sticks. Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I just drove back and forth between like 6 restaurants trying to fit 14 people in. We finally found one.
Wow.
Nice.
I know, dude.
Well-
It's too much. I'm so glad graduation's over.
Yeah. Well, hope you get to fill the belly, man. Hope you get to fill the belly. It's a good night though.
Yeah,
Got the
I
son
will.
graduated and everything. It's good.
You guys, yep. Now I just got to get him a job.
That's awesome.
So you guys have fun at Frightmare. Let me know, shoot some
Absolutely.
videos my way, post some stuff. So I'll live through you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
And
For sure.
Frank
Yep.
or Josh, I might hit you up for some pick me up something.
Yeah. Absolutely,
Gotta,
man. Let us know what you need.
Show me what hats they got at Ball Bear. So I might have to pick one of those up.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So, and are all you guys coming to Frightmare? Any of you guys coming to Frightmare? Or not Frightmare? OKC Horror.
OKC Horror.
I'm 50.
Plan on trying to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll all see
You
you
are
out
gonna work
there.
for me.
for
Well, I
sure.
know I'll make that one since it's only like 10 minutes away from me.
Absolutely.
I'd have to see if I can fit it into my schedule if I can, and then the budget for it. Then maybe I'll go up. I'll have to see though.
Right.
Yep, for sure. Understood.
Yeah, that one's fun. So,
Yeah,
all right, guys.
gonna be
I
great.
appreciate you letting me drop in for just this short amount of time. Wish I could have joined you a little longer.
Hey, next time, buddy. Next time, we got you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
Well, thanks to everybody. Thank you, chat. Thank you to all the folks that joined us tonight. Again, this has been so much fun, and appreciate your friendship and the community that we're building. And just can't wait to see you in a couple days in real person. It's going to be awesome. And catch out everybody's channels, follow, subscribe, do all the things because these guys are amazing. And we'll
For
catch
sure.
you next time.